Good afternoon, lovely people. We are but 5 minutes away from the lineups being revealed, announced. I guess it is a bit of a reveal, isn't it, really? An unboxing. The unboxing of the teams for today's game at the London Stadium against Nottingham Forest. It's a humdinger. I don't know if the game itself is going to be a humdinger, but in terms of a fixture, the fixture is absolutely a humdinger. So, first of all, let me thank you all very much for joining me, for deciding to spend the next little while of your valuable spare time with Hammers Chat. What we're going to be doing today is you and I. We are going to be discussing the team lineups, which we will read out when they're unboxed and revealed in the next few minutes. Then we're going to have another little chat about the teams, give our reactions to the teams. Then what we'll do is we will probably have a little cheeky bet. Now, the way that we do this bet is we probably choose an unrealistic scoreline, an unrealistic set of goal scorers, and we really boost the odds on this bet. Then what will happen is I will give you a phrase which you type in the live chat, and in the unlikely event that this bet actually lands, I'll be dishing out some money to anybody in the chat who's typed in the phrase. We call it the phrase that pays. Hopefully that makes absolute sense to you. At the moment, I can't see the chat, and I'll tell you why, because I know there's a lot of you lot who are very, very clued up and probably know the team before I do. Well, I don't. I like a surprise. I like the whole Christmas morning vibe of it, really. So I'm just going to wait for Father Christmas to deliver me presents. Actually, is Moisey going to be Father Christmas, or is he going to be the Grinch? But whatever happens, that's what I'm going to do. And that's the only way I can give my genuine reaction to it. Then we'll take you through. We'll have a bit more chit-chat, probably a bit of silliness. We might even discuss food at one point or another, just to sort of try and ease the tension, because it is tense. I'm nervous. I'm sure a lot of you are too. And then what we'll be doing at about 1:30 the hour is we'll be handing over to Charlie, and Charlie is going to take you through the watch-along. You don't have to go anywhere. Watch it on the telly. Mute it on the telly. And then listen to Charlie. He'll be, if you don't know how to watch it or you don't know what station it's on or anything like that, stay tuned to Charlie. He'll talk you through it. He'll tell you what to do. Then what we'll do is we'll watch the game, and then at full time, I will be back here with Irish Tommy, where we'll be giving our reactions in our post-match review. Who knows? I mean, it could be joyous, and it could be terrible. Quite frankly, I am dreading it. I'm just trying to make sure that my nerves don't overly permeate this video and make you lot about as nervous as I am, really. So, anyway, what we got going on today? I said it, and I said it in a video this morning. I called it the game Moyes dare not lose. But that's sort of dangerous, isn't it? Because I should have really rephrased it and said it's a game he must win. A draw, I mean, look, until we're mathematically finished, I guess a draw is fine, but I don't think it will be. And that's why I didn't want to say it that way. I know I don't mean it's just kicking the can down the road. I just believe that in terms of getting a bit of vibrancy, getting a bit of urgency back in the squad, then I think a draw is not going to do us any good whatsoever. David Moyes had a lot to say for himself in these press conferences, which is the idea of a press conference. I don't mind David Moyes doing a press conference at all. He's contractually obliged to do so. He seemed a bit spiky, if I'm honest, a bit spiky at suggestions that he might be a cautious manager, and but I would like to say took it on the chin. He sort of accepted it, but he sort of rallied against it, really. But what I was pleased about, and we're about to find out, because I'm going to go and find the team out for you in just a second. What I was pleased about was that he didn't seem bitter towards Maxwell Cornet. He even called him Maxi, which I think is good. So anyway, Maxi's fit and firing, looks sharp in training. He did sort of start talking about maybe getting him involved and getting him up to speed in a couple of under-21 games. But then he said, actually, he does look sharp. Maybe he'll be involved. I guess we're about to find out. So this is why I don't open a live chat. You lot probably know. You probably know it already. I'm about to click on it, and I'm about to read out the team. So you are getting a bona fide reaction now. Here is the West Ham team. Oh, there's your bona fide reaction. Lucas Fabianski in goal. Vladimir Sufal. Oh, okay. My word. Okay, Vladimir Soufal, I think at right back. Is it... Have we got two centre-backs here with a Gerd and Ogbonna? Am I reading that? It must be. It must be this. Okay, it looks like a Gerd and Ogbonna as centre-back. Looks like Johnson at left-back. Rice, Souček and Paqueta in the middle. And then Bowen, Ings and Benrahma. Wow. Okay. Let me go back to the live chat, and now I can bring up all your lovely comments there because, yeah, interesting. I'm not going to click on loads of comments right at this moment, but yes, indeed, Taz. Yes, indeed. Wow, I'm actually shocked by that for a number of reasons. I've not looked at the bench yet. I'll look at that in just a second. Let's just go through it again. So Lucas Fabianski in goal, Soufal right back, Ogbonna, Gerd, got to be the two centre backs. It can only be that way, right? Johnson, Rice, Souček, Paqueta, Bowen, Benrahma, Ings. That's a 4-3-3, right? Unless I'm much mistaken. Feel free to correct me in the chat. I'm not going to do anything silly like play Rice at centre back, is he? I would think not. See what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to cut straight to the bench. Areola, Cresswell, Scamacca, Fornals, Antonio Lanzini. Oh my word! Downs, Kehrer, Emerson. Wow. Okay, so the bench is Areola, Cresswell, Scamacca, Fornals, Antonio Lanzini, Downs, Kehrer, Emerson. That's made me nervous. I've got to say, that's made me nervous. I'll tell you what the wow was. The wow was for there. I think I was expecting maybe to see Zuma on the bench. Garino's just said exactly what I was thinking. So he's gone with a two. As his choice of a two, he's gone with Zuma, and he's gone with Ogbonna, and he's gone with a Gerd. This is really interesting. Excuse me. Let me just fix my camera thing. Just there. Yeah. Okay. I've got to say, it's made me a little bit more nervous. And Mark, you're absolutely right. I'm just letting it filter through here. There's no Cornet either on the bench. Okay. I mean, I guess Scamacca being on the bench is a good thing. Charlie, would you mind, if you're watching, mate? Would you mind popping up there? Thanks, mate. Sorry, you did. Areola, Cresswell, Kehrer, Emerson, Fornals, Lanzini, Downs, Scamacca, Antonio. I'm a little bit shocked, actually. Wasn't expecting a lot of that. So I got the first team back up, please, Charlie, mate. Thanks, mate. I wasn't expecting Benrahma to play. I wasn't expecting Ings to. I wasn't expecting Ings to start. I think if it wasn't expecting him to start on his own. I mean, that's going to be really interesting. It doesn't, mate. Look, I'm open to being educated about Danny Ings. I really am. Here's my thoughts on it as I'm just processing them. I don't mind at all if what David Moyes wants to do is go 4 at the back. Okay, fine. It might be slightly risky with Ogbonna being one or two centre halves, but okay. But I think if you're going to take the plunge and go 4 at the back, I didn't think he'd do it. And I thought if he did do it, then you might as well just go and play 2 strikers. That's interesting. Because if we're going to have one less defender, I'd rather have one more attacker. Right? I mean, it doesn't feel that way, really, does it? Still got sort of 3 in midfield there, what we had in the last game in terms of Downs. Obviously, we had Souček and we had Rice in there. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I would have preferred the 2. And if I'm going to have 2, I'd just prefer Ings. And it's weird, isn't it? We've not seen Ings alongside Antonio yet because that's been the substitute that's been made. Look, Scamacca's been out for a while. Maybe he's not fit to start. It's an odd one. So, Peter, I know I don't normally pull up a lot of comments at the start, but just do things a little bit differently today, maybe. Doubt Paqueta is fit. I think he's only missed 1 game, hasn't he? That's the thing. And it was it's a collarbone, so it's not like it's not going to stop him. If he gets a knock, it will hurt. Don't get me wrong, but it's not going to stop him running around. And only missing 1 game is not going to lessen his core fitness, is it? That's what I would say about that. So I'm sort of glad he's in. So I guess in that sense, that gives us more of an attacking option there. Yeah, very, very interesting. Right, okay. We'll get to what Sir Spam a lot. I like that. Yeah, oh, don't spam too much today, please. I'm on me Todd here, so I've got to manage the chat and do all the stuff. Excuse me. Right, listen, I've seen a couple of predictions in there. We'll do that at the end of the video. I'm strangely nervous. I'm not strangely nervous. I just am nervous about this, which is making me strangely subdued about the whole thing. I find it hard to get excited about this one. Very, very nervous. Look, and I've said it multiple times this week in different videos. Got to start fast on this one. We've got to start fast. Actually, can I get it? Can I, before I start going to the bet? Are you nervous? Can I just have a little flurry of activity? Is it just me? I am. I'm really worried about this. It has to be said. No, I don't want. That's not what I was saying. I don't want 5 at the back. What I'm saying is, I want another striker. Yeah, no, you completely misinterpreted that, mate. I want another striker. I want 2 up front, is what I'm saying. Okay. Sorry. So Dean's there. All right. Yeah. People are. Paul Chambers is nervous as well. John's nervous. Case of Spam a lot is very nervous as well. Oh, this is interesting. Past nerves. Just try and enjoy each game at this point. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to as well, but it's got me thunder and joy. I think we can say he's nervous. Let's say. Okay. Yeah, Jack and listen. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, it's not just me. It doesn't actually make me feel better. I'll just okay. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's go and do the bet now. Let's get this bet out of the way. Okay, so for those of you that don't, oh no, actually forget the bet a second. Sorry. Thank you very much indeed, Adrian. You've just reminded me. I've not even. That's how nervous I'm not even looked at the Nottingham Forest team. Thank you very much indeed, Charlie, for popping that up. That's exactly what we needed to do there. So let's have a look at the Nottingham Forest team. Woods, I can already see Woods play, and he causes us bother, doesn't he? Navas, Williams, Felipe, Worrell. We were linked with him for a while. Lodi, Shelvey, Colback, Freuler, Johnson, Gibbs White, such a good player, and Wood. I'd like to say he was a good player. I'll tell you what, he's a good player when he plays against West Ham, isn't he? So yeah, that's the Nottingham Forest team. I don't watch them enough to know whether that's their main lineup or not. I mean, well, Bolly, no, Bolly's not playing. I think he's a good defender. Interesting, really interesting to see that there. I mean, come on. We should have enough. You look at the composition of our team. And I don't mean that like the team is selected per se, but the money we've spent, the players we got in there, we should be able to beat Nottingham Forest. I'm not saying we will. I'm still really nervous about it, but we should be able to beat this team. Can I have the Forest bench, please, Charlie, mate? Hennessy, Toffolo, Mangala, Lingard, Surridge, Dennis, Scarpa, Ayew, Danilo. I think we might have the phrase that pays. Okay, so that's Hennessy, Toffolo, Mangala, Lingard. Honestly, you can see it. You can see it, can't you? What's going to happen? Surridge, Dennis, Scarpa, Ayew, and Danilo. Right then, let's go and do a bet. Paul, are you saying Shelvey card? Is that what you're saying to me? If you are, do you know what? I'll tell you what we'll do. If that's exactly what you're saying, then I will do that straight away. I will put that on there. Play a card. What we'll do is we will find John Joe Shelvey to be booked. That's going to start off the betting for today. I hope that was what you meant. Right, let's get back to the chat. Gonna need a score. Boys and girls, don't forget Charlie's got his poll up there. How do you feel about the starting lineup? So Charlie's running a poll. I can't see that on my screen because I've got the software, the streaming software, rather than the YouTube screen up in front of me. I can't see it, but obviously Charlie's put it up there. Get involved in the poll, please. And I need a score line, and ideally the more unrealistic. I don't want to talk about 5-0, but probably the more unrealistic, the better. On this one, so because I mean, it's a few of you saying 2-1 to Forest. Okay, in fact, it's 3 of you said 2. Okay, we'll do it. In fact, it's 4 of you have said 2-1 to Forest. We'll do that. It's your show. We'll do that. I don't think it's going to be great odds though, folks, for that. 2 2-1 to Forest. Are we really going with that? Okay. All right. Do you know what? It's your show. I don't think we're going to be giving a lot of money away in this one. I think if we're going to do that, we're going to need all 3 goal scorers. Okay, so we've got a card. I need all 3 goal scorers in this. So that's 2 goals for Nottingham Forest, which you got to. No, honestly, Max, it's done. It's done, mate. I would have done that, and I do it every single time. I do a West Ham win every single time. And I normally take that. And I was sort of hoping for, 3-1 West Ham, something like that. But honestly, the first 4 posts that come up all said 2-1 Forest. So, and they were different people. So I'm going to go with it. As I say, it's not up to me. This is what I'm doing. There we go. Listen, just Matt, let me get this right. Please don't read too much into it. Okay, you can be as positive as you want. Okay, a lot of the time, we do a bet and we don't necessarily expect it to happen. We're just trying to win some people some money. So try not to get overly superstitious about it. The bet doesn't have any impact on the result at all. Be as positive as you want in the chat. We're going to have Ings to score. We've got Lingard to score and Wood to score. Right, there you go. That's your bet. That is your bet. There we go. Right, players to score. Oh, my word. Okay, so let's go. Anytime Danny Ings to score. You have to excuse me there. Chris Wood to score. And I've got to show more players. Where is he? Are they even going to have... I mean, you sort of know. I mean, this should be good odds, to be fair. Now we're going to have Jesse Lingard to score because it means, I mean, it does. It means they're going to come off the bench. Okay, it still is quite an unrealistic bet. All right, so I'm just going to place the bet now. That is done. The bet is done. There you go. All done. What can I do? I'm right. So I'm going to read out the bet now. So it is John Joe Shelby to be booked. The full-time score will be Nottingham Forest 2, West Ham 1. Danny Ings will score, Chris Wood will score, and Jesse Lingard will come off the bench to score. In the unlikely event of all of that stuff happening, in fact, this feeds quite nicely into the chat here, into the phrase that pays. If all those things happen, 2 of you are going to win 500 quid. Okay. And the phrase that pays is, and this is a play on one of the names. I think it's on the Forest bench. I think it's on the Forest bench anyway. I want to see what's in the first team. Sorry, Charlie. Can I have the team up again? The Forest team up again, please. No, it's not. I think it's actually on the bench. It's on the bench. I remember it anyway. It's absolutely fine. Okay. So in the event that we do lose 2-1, I think you'll find, and this is the phrase, Moyes will Scarpa. Spell in the way of the spelling of the Nottingham Forest player Scarpa. Moyes will Scarpa. Okay. So spam a lot. It's not just Scarpa. It's got that I was going to say that won't get you to 500 quid. I mean, that one's going to win 500 quid anyway. But if that bet comes in, 2 of you will win 500 quid. That is it. Exactly what the Hammer Boy has typed there. So Spamalot has corrected it there. Jordan's got it as well. There we go. There we go, boys and girls. Type that in the chat. If you've just joined now and you're wondering why people are typing Moyes will Scarpa, it's not because they're saying Moyes is going to run away before the ball has been kicked. We've just placed a bet. And if that bet comes in, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for that bet to come in. And let's be fair, I hope it bloody doesn't because I would need a West Ham win. But if that bet comes in, 2 of you from the chat that have typed the phrase Moyes will Scarpa, 2 of you will win 500 quid. There you go. And that's that. And that is our bet. That went a bit more smoothly than last time. I've had a lot of screens up. There's a lot going on. It's like the deck of the Starship Enterprise here. From you can't see it. It all looks, well, it probably looks like an amusement arcade from the way you're seeing it. But where I'm looking, it's like, honestly, it's like the war room there. Anyway, I'm sure you would. That'd be. I know it would be a good day. Look, if that happens, West Ham lose. If West Ham lose, I mean, we're just even more trouble, right? I am of the opinion that I'm totally fed up this season, and I would have liked Moyes to have been replaced at any point since November. At any point, And when I say at any point, even yesterday, right? At any point. But he's here now. What I can't quite buy into is wanting West Ham to lose so as Moyes gets the sack. I just don't think we can afford to lose. This is a home game against a team who we can drag back into. I'm just going to pull up the Premier League table, actually. Let me just pull that up there. I think I'm just going to look now. I think if we were to win, we'd only be 2 points behind them. Yeah, I'm right. If we win, we're only 2 points behind them. And they look pretty safe, don't they? But we'd be 2 points behind them, and their goal difference is worse than us. I think ours is -10. Theirs is -20. I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm a little bit disappointed with the team. Yeah, I can't pretend otherwise. Really? Sorry, put the subs up, Gonzo. Charlie, would you? No, sorry, beg your pardon. That's not the right one. Someone put. There you go. Beg your pardon. Can we have these subs up, please? Charlie, usual suspect would like the West Ham substitutes. If he doesn't do it, I think I can probably do it in a minute. But if I start clicking buttons, it can all go very, very wrong. In fact, I'm gonna have a go. Let's have a look at the West Ham substitute. There we go. I've done it. Magic. There you go. Usual. So it's Cresswell, Kehrer, Emerson, Fornals, Lanzini, Downs, Scamacca, Antonio, and of course Areola is in goal. So the big news is, I think the big news is just go to the main starting lineup there. Well, it's Paqueta back. It's the fact that it's a back four and it's Ogbonna and a Gerd. I mean, that is interesting. Regardless of what you or I may think of Thilo Kehrer, I sort of had it in mind that if he was going to play the two, it'd be Kehrer and a Gerd. So I'm a little bit shocked by that one there. I think that's interesting. Danny Ings playing up front. I was going to say on his own. Maybe there is a slight tactical tweak there. Maybe, just maybe, Bowen and Ben Rama are going to get really close to him. But he's not a big guy. None of them are. They're all little fellas, aren't they? Really. So that's interesting, particularly for a Moyes team. No, let me just no Carlton. There is no Cornet. David Moyes was very. Let me read you what David Moyes said about Maxwell Cornet. He said, I've been really impressed by how he's come back. Maxi, and I'm pleased to use those words because as I thought Moyes might be cross with him because he wasn't overly communicative apparently when he was away. He stayed in Dizzy's. Moyes wanted him to do his rehabilitation and do all his medical stuff in England. He chose to go away to France and do it, and apparently wasn't particularly communicative when he was over there. The irony is lost on me, though, particularly when we hear the talk from people like Vlasic and people like Krau, and even to a lesser extent, even Soufal earlier in the season were basically saying that Moyes wasn't a great communicator and didn't speak to them really. The irony wasn't lost on me that David Moyes was complaining that someone wasn't communicating with him. But anyway, I thought I was worried that he might be a little bit bitter about that, if you like. So for him to call him Maxi, I think that's really good. Do you know what? At least it's his name. It's not like calling Nathan Gerd Nathan, is it? So we got that anyway. So he said Maxi's come back this week and looked sharp and quick. He looks like he's on the verge of being ready to be rolled out. I'm pleased because he's been out for such a long time. I'm hoping I won't need to take too much time. It's very difficult for someone to be out for 5 months and for us to say, okay, get your gear on. You're going to be straight back out there. It doesn't happen that often. But we haven't got too much time, so we might need to get him out as quickly as possible. We've got 221 games next week, which I might consider, or I might think I don't need to put him in the under 21 games. I might put him straight back in. With us having a midweek cup tie and a league game, we're away in Europe after that. I'm going to need him just for the numbers. That's good, isn't it? I don't want you because I think you're good. I need you just for the numbers. We'll have a look and see what we think. Look, reading between the lines there. He's had a look. He's seen what he thinks, and he doesn't want to put Cornet into the team. Does that mean he's going to be featured in the cup game? I would suspect it is. The other thing is, usual suspect asked earlier for the bench. I don't know. Sorry, I haven't been following the chat because I was reading then for the last couple of minutes. I do wonder if he was looking at the chat thinking, I asked in the chat looking at the bench and thinking, well, hold, is Zuma there? Well, he's not. He's that's actually quite funny, isn't it? So probably should, but anyway, I thought it was good. Good play on words there. So no Zuma. I mean, what can you say? What can you say? Look, sorry, I just got to kick someone out of the chat. It just no. If you're gonna do stuff like that, it never gets put up on the screen. You just get kicked out. It's as simple as that. And you have to go through the whole process of renewing your membership and all the rest of it. So I'd rather you didn't. And do you know what I mean? It's waste your time. Better things to do, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? Better things to do with your Saturday afternoon than be a saddo and come and try and troll a live chat. Seriously, mate, get a grip. Anyway, back to David Moyes. He would have been desperate, I think, to get Kurt Zouma into this team. What are we thinking about Danny Ings? What are we thinking about Danny Ings being on his own up front? I think this is really, really interesting. I'd be very interested as well to see what David Moyes is going to do in terms of substitutions. I guess he's looking at it and he's thinking, off the bench, I can have a real impact on this game. I find it interesting as well, Antonio not starting. Now, look, I know Antonio has not been scoring loads of goals. All right, that much is clear. But maybe, just maybe, might have been an option in a wide area, or just to get him up with two up front. Just have a look and pull that bench up again. Because did you see Lanzini's wife during the last game? Lanzini's wife sent her. Well, she didn't send a message to David Moyes. She probably could have done. I bet she's got David Moyes' number. Probably easier to send a message. But she sent a tweet, as you do now, and I don't know, whatever. Maybe tagged in David Moyes. She can't have tagged in David Moyes. Can you imagine David Moyes with a Twitter account? I wouldn't think so, to be honest with you. But anyway, and basically, I think she thinks her husband should be playing. Look, I guess she would. She's his wife. She loves him. But anyway, there you go. There are some options off the bench. I just don't think he'll use Lanzini. So to have Scamacca and Antonio on there is going to be really good. I guess he's got Kehrer on this. If he wants to switch formation and go with three at the back, he certainly can do. I'm nervous. I've got to say, I am nervous. Right, anyway. Let's just put the main one back up there. I think it's probably time. Let's put the chat back up for your score predictions. I think that's what we need. Let's have your score predictions, please. Start getting them in. Not what you want to happen, what you think will happen. Just interesting. Chris said he's glad there's no Antonio. Yeah, look, it's not. He's not been brilliant, has he? I understand that. Okay, well, first of all, let's start with Johnny Tibbs. He says, love you, Gonzo. He said, going 3-1, Ings 2, and he's done a bet. So you've done a bet, Johnny. That's what you actually bet, is it? 3-1 with Ings to score 2. This should be good odds, I hope. My friend, I hope you win your bet. I absolutely do. In fact, I'm sorry to say this. I hope you win your bet rather than the bet that we've done, because that means we lose. Although I'd dearly love to give 2 people in this chat 500 quid. I really would. But I'd rather Johnny wins his money and West Ham get a 3-1 win, because it would move us out of the. Let's have a look at the matches. Actually, I just want to go through today's. Let's go through today's. Oh, Newcastle and Brighton got postponed. So yesterday was Wolves 1 and Fulham 1. Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Fulham 1. That's the other way around, wasn't it? Today's 3:00 kickoff. Everton play Aston Villa. Leicester City versus Arsenal, West Ham United versus Nottingham Forest, Leeds United versus Southampton, and the evening. Oh, there is an evening kickoff. No, there's a double one. So you got Bournemouth versus Manchester City, then you got Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. We'll tell you what, we don't normally do this. We'll have a bit of this. Okay. 1-0 Everton, 2-2 Leicester Arsenal. West Ham are going to win 2-0. Leeds 1, Southampton 0. Bournemouth 0, Manchester City 3. Crystal Palace 1, Liverpool 0. That's it. Should we do the whole lot? Let's go. And we'll go tomorrow as well, which is the 1:30 kickoff. Tottenham Hotspur 2, Chelsea 0. That's what I think. There you go. We've never done that before, have we? Never done that one before. Quite like that. We do that. I think we'll do that next time, actually. I'll tell you what. If all them come in, that'd be a bet, wouldn't it? Actually, I'll tell her, that is the sort of bet I usually do, actually, to be perfectly honest with you. Just going to stick me my earmuffs in. They're not earmuffs, really, are they? They're plugs. Butts. Earbuds. Earplugs. Earbuds. Butt plugs. No, not really. You wouldn't want to do that. Definitely not. Not good. Not good at all. Sorry. No one needed that, really, did they? Put a bet on this a bit. She's not a bit late. Sorry, someone just said, Nick, probably not a bit. I don't know what I am. I probably will do. I'm actually going to bet on whatever I just said. I'm actually just going to go back and make it up again. But I do actually. Yeah. This is, yes, absolutely. 4 Far Athletic, 5 East 5 4. We could do all that, couldn't we? That'd be good. Is this? Hold on. Every time we've won, Gonzo hasn't had a West Ham shirt on. I don't have a West Ham shirt on. I'm even underneath. I've got a West Ham shirt on. Going for the double grey. See that? Double grey today. It's all the rage. Actually, triple grey. Got a triple grey on today. It's all the rage. Everyone's doing it. Yeah, look, this is all very nice, but this sounds like a lot of editing, and we're, well, I say I'm a bit lazy, to be honest with you. Oh no, I haven't. Do you know what, Richard? You're absolutely right. Listen, I'll tell you what I'm going to do with Zoltar. So for those of you who didn't know, I went down to, I was in an arcade. I went down to Swanage, right? Went down to Swanage. And have you ever seen the film Big? You seen the film Big with Tom Hanks years and years ago? And he goes into the amusement arcade, and you make a wish, and he goes up to this thing, and he wishes to be big. Well, it's a bit like that. And but it tells your fortune. So I went and consulted Zoltar, and I said, and I filmed it on my phone, but I didn't really expect to use it that much. And people quite liked it. So next time I go down to Swanage, I will record a set of sequences that will hopefully. I'll write knob when I'm doing it. By the way, I'm stood in the arcade filming myself, and people will get past thinking that is an idiot, right? So yeah. So there you go. Oh, sorry. Hold on. No. Not at all. Not at all. Far from it. Far from it. It is the premiere of the new Mary Poppins musical today. So Gio's with a few other fellas. They've gone out today. They've gone out. They've got one of those. What do you call them? Rickshaw. They got out in a rickshaw. Is that what they call it? I think they call it. Is that called it? Or is a rickshaw a boat? No, that's a junk. They've gone out in a rickshaw. They've not gone out with a bloke called Rickshaw. They've gone out in a rickshaw. And they've gone. Yes, they've gone for like a trip around London, and then they're going out to see Mary Poppins the musical, which is good. So we'll find out from Gio how much he enjoyed that, which should be really nice. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, so we will do Zoltar. We will do Zoltar. Absolutely well said indeed, True Cockney. What a legend. He is a legend, isn't he? John Motson, rest in peace, John Motson. Absolutely. Well said, my friend. Well said. I know. What can you say? He should have gone to the game, really. He should be here. No, not at all. Not at all. Funny enough, you say ABBA. He did want to take in the Mamma Mia musical today, but that was fully booked out. So he's gone with the Mary Poppins. He knows all the words to all the songs. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, tuppence, feed the birds, tuppence a bag. He knows all. He loves it. He loves it. Sings it in a lovely Scottish accent. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag. That's his favourite song. Although he does think that tuppence is probably a little bit too much to pay for a bag of bird feed. So he's got his own version. Feed the birds a penny a bag, basically. And absolutely, Ionix, well bloody said, my friend. Well said, my friend. Right, I think we've got someone warming up. He loves the spoonful of sugar. The song I'm talking. I've cut down. I always had 2 sugars in my tea. I sort of cut down. We'll get Charlie and I'll tell him all about it. I'll tell him about me do tea routine with the sugars. Hello, Charlie.
There was an episode of EastEnders once, right? You know, sometimes when they do they insert a bit of something that's meant to teach people something, not like a storyline.
I know what you're
saying.
saying. Yes.
I vividly remember one episode. It's something that's always stuck with me a little bit, and so to that effect, I guess it worked. Where they were in the cafe, having tea, getting a cup of tea. It was a bunch of them. I want to say it was Alfie Moon.
Yeah.
Patrick Truman might have been there. Don't remember who else. That's just the vibes I was getting, right? Ian Bill probably. And they were getting cups of tea, which, by the way, why, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Why do all of the people in EastEnders go to the cafe to get a cup of tea when their house is next door and they don't have to pay for it?
We lost Perry.
But explain to me. Yes, please do. Please do. Next time he's on.
That's the only thing we want to know. Never mind the football. That's what we want to know. Yeah, go on.
And they did a bit about how much sugar is in things, and specifically tea. And one of them, I think all of them had asked for 2 or 3 sugars. I can't remember, right? It was 2 or 3 blokes. And they'd all asked for 2 or 3 sugars. And whoever was working at cafe there went, do you know how much sugar that is? And then took it and poured it out onto a table. I went, and that's how much you're having over the course of a day. And that's how much you're having over the course of a week. And they were all like, whoa, that's a lot of sugar. And that's always stuck in my mind. And I only have one now, Gonzo.
Well, it works then, didn't it? I mean, everything does that now. You will get a lecture. What is funny is at the end they say if you've been affected by having too many sugars in your tea, you can please contact and then they give you a number,
BBC helpline.
like a helpline. Absolutely, we can phone up and say I've had a spoon of butterscotch syrup in my coffee today.
Big. It was a big problem.
It is a big problem. I'm down. I'm down. So I haven't cut out sugar completely, but I was 2 sugar. I used to have about 10 cups of tea a day with 2 sugars in it. I know.
20 spoons of sugar.
I know. It helps the medicine go down. They said my version of the song lasts a long time. Anyway, so I've cut down now. I just have 2 sugars in my morning cup of tea, and then the next cup of tea I have 1 sugar. And then the remainder of the teas for the day, I have no sugars unless it's a special occasion.
Unless it's a special occasion. I'm now on decaf tea as well. That's another
thing
I've done recently.
Does it keep you awake?
No, but I'll be honest. To be honest, I was expecting the jump down to be significant, right? I mean, you know what I'm like, staying up anyway, but I end up staying up just as long as I did anyway. And B, I actually prefer the taste.
Do you? What variety are you talking about?
I get your PG Tips decaf. Okay. I want to say it has the word golden on it, maybe. I'm not sure. But I have PG Tips decaf. Sometimes I get a Yorkshire one. But, and that's when the PG Tips aren't in. But I actually prefer the tea. I was shocked because I thought it was going to be absolutely rubbish. And then someone said to me, "Oh, you should try decaf." And I was like, "All right, I'll give it a shot. Whatever. I'll try anything once. It's fine. Not that deep." When it's tea. When it comes to food, I stay to my tried and true methods of beige foods. But yeah, no, I was surprised. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's great. You probably are getting a better experience with a caffeinated tea. But the jump down was enough to where I was like, do you know what? Yeah, let's get that. Let's get that instead. You know?
That's what happens. That's what happens.
Gio's not here. This is what happens.
Right, listen, I do actually have to skedaddle, Charlie, I'm afraid, because I've got a couple of things to do before I watch this game. This is stuff that Alan needs to know, and so I am going for. So where's Alan Sager? I'm going to go for West Ham 2, Nottingham Forest 0.
Love that from you.
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I haven't really deeped it too much. Off the top of my head, this might change, Alan. Stick around till kickoff and I'll give you the final prediction when I lock it in. But I'm saying right now, 2-1 West Ham. I'm saying 2-1 West Ham. But I think we do get that win. I'm feeling
nice.
There's a bit of something going on. Something.
Is that true? Is that true, Charlie? You take a lot of both. Is that true?
In my experience, yes. Yeah. Easy.
I'm joking.
I weaned down to half the amount. I weaned down to half the amount of cocaine. It was great. It was easy. It was light work. The tea, though, took forever to change.
3 cocaines. It's decaffeinated tea, but it has 3 spoons of cocaine in it.
That's probably why I find it so easy to wake up. Or to stay awake, I should say.
That was a joke, okay? I must put that. I know 99%. There's 824 people watching now. I know 821 of you knew that was a joke, okay? But for you, Probably you that was in the chat earlier, by the way. That was a joke. There we go.
I'm the most boring man on the planet. I don't even drink alcohol.
He is supposed
so I can't. So it is what it is. Why not? Why not vibe it? Why not?
He don't even have caffeine in his tea. He doesn't drink alcohol.
It's bad. It's bad.
He doesn't go down the brothel anymore.
Maybe I'll take it up. I need something going on that just gives me a little bit of edge.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Anyway, I even did a little mime then. I sort of wiped my nose. Like that's
What's bad is I still have a cold, so I'm going to be wiping my nose a lot, and it's going to look very awkward. It's going to look very, very awkward.
He's been on the old Colombian marching powder again. Him and Danny up all night.
Listen.
Right, I've got to go. I've got to go.
Right.
I've got to go. Have a great show, Charlie. Have a great show. Everybody else, enjoy the game. Charlie, you're going to have to kick me out because I'm a bit buttoned up here. And I'll see everybody else at full time.
See you for the review. Cheers, Gonzo. Bye. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. My man. He will be back for the review, of course, which will be after the match itself. However, until then, we'll be here throughout the entire game. We're going to enjoy it together, hopefully. Big changes today, which may or may not influence you when I ask you how confident you are. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least confident possible, 10 being the most confident possible, how confident are you of a West Ham result today? Let's have a look at those lineups, because I feel like, I'll be honest with you, I'm probably a little bit more confident than I should be. Not confident. It's been going on a hell of a long time. Maybe not confident, but I certainly do like the lineup. Which I'll explain in a second. Let's have a look at it though. I'm looking for the button that does that, which is that. Oh, no, that's Danny button. There's Danny. Danny's here, by the way. That's not what I was looking for. It's this one. There we go. So, West Ham line up as such. Fabianski in goal. Soufal, Aged, Ogbonna and Johnson in defence. We have Rice, Souček and Paqueta probably in a midfield 3 in a 4-3-3 with Bowen and Ben Rama on either side of Danny Ings. Annie Dings. Nottingham Forest, just in case you're interested, line up with Navas in goal. You have a defence of Williams, Felipe, Worrell and Lodi. You have Shelvey, Cole back in midfield, probably with Freuler, with Johnson and Gibbs-White, and then Wood as the centre forwards. Their bench, Hennessy, Mangala, Lingard, Toffolo, Surridge, Dennis, Danilo, Scarpa and Ayew. Our bench, Areola, Cresswell, Scamacca, Fornals, Antonio, Lanzini, Downs, Kehrer and Emerson. And the reason why I'm happy with it is twofold. Because part of me at the moment has been sort of big on the 3 at the back. I think we've looked significantly better at 3 at the back. Good to see you, HDU. Hope you're well. Part of me has been a lot more confident with 3 at the back, and I think we've been a lot better at 3 at the back. And if this was any other game, potentially, I might be frustrated us changing to 4. The reason I'm not is twofold. One, we know Moyes is under pressure. We've been told that if he loses today, he's gone. Whether or not that's true or not, will remain to find out. Only time may actually end up telling, and it potentially could happen, right? But in reality, it's at least him stepping out of himself and going for it a little bit, which is something that I was desperate for him to do, and I'm quite happy with him doing. Secondly, when we played Nottingham Forest last time, and we should have beat them, that result was ours. We played this system, potentially. If this is what it looks like, the 4-3-3, we played this. And that's potentially why I think Ben Rama has come back in, despite maybe falling slightly down in the pecking order in terms of form. He was really good in that game. And so for once, and it's something we criticise David Moyes a lot for, I criticise David Moyes a lot for, it seems like he's actually tailored something to the opposition. It seems like he's looked at the opposition and gone, this is what we should do to beat them, as opposed to usual, which is we're going to do our thing and then we're going to do what we do. I'm really happy about that. And it's giving me a bit more confidence. In terms of levels, Gemma is saying 4. Mick and Joan are going for big 10s. Ralph is saying 5, 3, 4, 7, 7, 3, 6.5. It's very sort of up and downy. It's not been bad. It's not been bad, Johnny. A bit stressful at times, but not been bad, you know. Haven't slept enough. But today, slept like a baby. Woke up nice and early at 10 o'clock, played Football Manager a lot. It's been all right. It's been all right. How's yours been, mate? I hope you're well. Muddy is saying 4, 5, 7, 3.13. Says HDU 664. Charlie, listen. It's a stressful time for us all. It's a stressful time for us all. 5-4. Louisa saying hello. Good to see you, Louisa. I hope you're well. Why is Bowen and Benny switched? I believe Bowen will be on the right and Ben Rama will be on the left. I think it is a traditional 4-3-3. That's my gut. We'll see once the game starts, Mixel, but that's my gut feeling. 7 out of 10, 4, 7, and you can see the numbers are sort of, they're fluctuating, but they're in a sort of middle ground. There's a couple really high and there's 1 or 2 really low, but you're sort of in that middle ground, which is kind of what I would expect. It's kind of what I'd expect. Jonathan is saying, I was going to ask Gonzo, did we put Paqueta back in at number 10? Freaking raging. I don't think we have. Again, I would be very shocked if it wasn't 4-3-3. One of the other elements to this that I've really liked when it got announced is the last time we saw a 3 in midfield of Rice, Souček and Paqueta together as a sort of 3 and a 4. It wasn't a 4-3-3 that game. I think it was a 5-3-2 or something. It really worked. I really liked the composition of those 3 together. None of them playing in a 10. Sort of you have your 2 8s and you're sort of 1 just behind them. I'm hopeful and confident that is what we're seeing today. I don't think Paqueta's going back in that number 10 position. I do think he will be playing in an 8. I do think it will be a 3 in midfield as opposed to a 4-2-3-1 or anything like that. I'm pretty confident of that. And actually, I think that's really good because those 3 players together last time they played were really good. Defensively, when you look at that lineup and you say, Aged and Ogbonna, I would probably prefer you switch out Ogbonna for a right-footed centre-back, but realistically, I don't want it to be Kehrer in a back 2. That terrifies me. Kehrer in a back 3 at right centre-back, sure, but in a back 2, terrifies me. And so, this is probably defensively the strongest option we have. Listen, if Kurt Zouma was back and he was fully fit, obviously it would be Zouma and Aged. But at this stage, with the fitness levels we have, Zuma's not even on the bench, then this is probably defensively the strongest centre-back combination you have. Soufal's been arguably good recently. Not even arguably. I just think he's been good recently. Johnson is, again, you're limiting yourself going forward to some extent, but defensively, I think Ben Johnson is the best option at left back. And then you have that front 3. Danny Ings is an interesting one. I probably would have preferred Skamaka to play that role, but I don't know if he's fit enough, and realistically, we have to give Danny Ings some sort of shot. Hopefully, Bowen and Ben Rama don't leave him too isolated. Hopefully we don't get pushed back so deep that Bowen and Ben Rama end up filling in as sort of wide midfielders, dropping back even deeper to sort of cut and cross and have that 6 in defence. Hopefully they can stay far enough forward, or at least one of them can, to where Danny Ings isn't cut off, and then I'll feel pretty confident about it. I've got question marks about Danny, but hopefully he can answer them today. And overall, when I look at that lineup, I can't act like I'm not pretty happy with it. It's probably as good a lineup as I could have asked for, you know? Like, maybe I'd put Skamaka, like I said, probably Skamaka in there. I think you could make arguments for nows, but I don't know if in this 4-3-3 I would want him playing as a left winger. I think I want someone like Ben Rama, who's a bit more a direct attacking threat, as opposed to Fornals, who's great with the support and great with the assists and great with maybe not actually getting assists, but assists for assists and that sort of stuff. Also has a tendency to drop deeper because of his work rate and stuff. Maybe I would prefer Ben Rama in that role. You know, you can make an argument for Johnson, you can make an argument for, say, Emerson, although again in a back 3 that's slightly scary to me. I'm happy with this. I can't act like I'm not. I think this is arguably the team sheet I probably would have put together, and arguably the one I think is correct for the opposition as well. Not just in terms of what's strongest, but importantly what's correct for the opposition. Whether or not that ends up playing out, of course, we'll see when the game kicks off. We'll figure out exactly where people are. Stephen's saying 2, 7, 4, 2.1. Dr. Fruzi is saying he's fairly confident. Or they're fairly confident, sorry. 3, 6, 6. How is Ings with Ings up top on his own? That's what I'm saying. I'm hopefully Bowen and Ben Rama can stay sort of nearish enough to him. I don't mind him being up top by himself in a 1 system. I don't really care about us playing 2 up top and Danny Ings being part of that. Is that ideal for him? Yes, but realistically with the players we've got, I'm okay with it being a 4-3-3. It just requires Bowen and Ben Rama to be close enough to him to be able to make an effect. It requires either Thomas Souček or Paqueta pushing forward from that midfield 3, driving forward and getting in and around him. Because actually, realistically, we can be playing, say, goal kicks. We can be pinging it long to Thomas Souček, nodding it down, and then people picking up second balls. And then it's not really a matter whether Danny Ings is in a 2 or a 1. It's about just creating that space from having those movements. Bowen getting forward, cutting in from the inside, driving in, pulling people out of position, getting attention away from Danny Ings. Ben Rama doing something similar, just getting that attention away and giving him that opportunity. We'll see. It's a big game for him. It's a big game for him as much as it is for West Ham and David Moyes, because it's a huge opportunity. And if David Moyes is to stay, I suspect one up front will be for the foreseeable future. And so Danny Ings will need to show today that he can fit and work in that system. Otherwise, he will find himself relegated to being on the bench and not starting games. It's a huge opportunity for him, especially when you have Antonio and Scamacca on the bench. It's a big, big opportunity. But yeah, so I think 4-3-3. I'm pretty confident it'll be 4-3-3, but we'll see. It'll be C. Oliver, good to see you. From Bristol. You're a Bristol lad, Oliver. You're a Bristol lad. I was there not 2 months ago. End of December I was there. Temple Meads. Went to the whatchamacallit? There's a, what's the word I'm looking for? A Weatherspoons around the back of Temple Meads called the something. That's not without it down, has it? It's got a big glass front. I was there. I was in the southwest. Loving life. Wayne Cox, I wasn't. I was very ill. But I was there. I'm still ill from then. Jesus Christ, it has been 2 months, hasn't it? Wayne Cox saying 10, we're scoring 3 today. We will smash them. Love that. We will be locking in final score predictions very soon. But I'm loving that sort of confidence. Dave is coming in with a solid 7, but not sure with the lineup. I can take that. Dave, more updates for you on WWE 2K. I'm really enjoying it. It's very good. It's very good. WWE 2K22 is so much better than I thought it was going to be. I just play random games. I just play random matches, which is something I haven't done for years. I've got like 10 minutes. I just load it up and I'm going to be Walter and or Gunther, and I'm just going to absolutely smack people about. I'm going to be flipping Swerve Strickland, who's obviously in AEW now. I'm just going to do I'm enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? Could be my boy Trent 7. Robbie saying 5. Rice Baby coming in with a solid 7. Dan, an optimistic Lingard hating 69. Love that, Dan. Love that. Both vibes that I could probably get behind. I don't really hate Lingard, but for today, get him in the bin. I'm here for it. Yes, Dan. I've hyped myself up there. Ron's going with an 8. The disabled team, Stu. Hope you're happy, bro. Hope you're good. I've watched the first half an hour of extra time before this show started. I just had it on in the background. I was playing Football Manager. Enjoyed the show. If you haven't already, subscribe. They did a good show last night. I hope Leeds and West Ham can get the 3 bloody point needed. Very much so, mate. Very much so. And I'm feeling relatively confident right now. I don't know. We'll see, but I'm feeling relatively confident. Would watch West Ham the farcical as opposed to the musical. Solid work. Get rid of that riff rash. Charlie is here now. He's not necessary. Gonzo, listen. To be fair, it's difficult when you do it by yourself. If anyone knows, it's me. It's difficult when you do it by yourself, especially when you're used to doing a two-man thing. So whenever Gio goes off on his little adventures and Gonzo's here doing it on his ones, it is very difficult, to be fair to him. But Gonzo does his own thing on his own channel all the time, doesn't he? So okay, you got to respect the effort, don't you? Simon's saying a solid 2 from me, which is, fair. And I think that's what's sort of tempering my expectations a little bit, right? Is that realistically, I'm going to give it a shot, but I cannot promise anything. I think realistically with the 2s and the lower scores, I can't say I disagree, because it's very, very difficult to sit here and act like I'm sort of 10 out of 10 confidence. As much as I'm talking about all the positives and it is helping me a lot today, there is obviously that West Ham bit in the back of my mind that is worried constantly, especially with the form we're in. Obviously in usual times, we're always worried anyway. It's the way it goes. It's the way it goes, right? It's West Ham, But on top of that, obviously the form we're in, everything that's happened. And I'll be honest, with the confidence that's been sort of exhibited by players in the club, Declan Rice coming out and writing how they know we haven't been good enough. I've blocked social media, all this other sort of stuff, questioning David Moyes' tactics in the post-match press conference last time out. There's a lot of sort of things that would worry a normal person, let alone for a team who are in a relegation battle. So I can't sit here and act like I'm a 10 out of 10. As much as I am definitely more confident and I'm very happy with this, I can't quite go that far. There is a lot more confidence, though, in me than I thought there would be. A lot more confidence with me. Celtic saying 7 1mm. Just a little bit over 7. And I respect that. I would respect that. No, just saying so many were saying Moyes did the same old thing. Now he's surprised with most 2 or 3 selections. Isn't that what we wanted? Something different. That's kind of where I'm at, Nigel. That's kind of where I'm at. 10 for the baby belt. There are baby bells available, ladies and gentlemen. Also, it is of course a Saturday 3 p.m, which is one of those situations where It's difficult to watch the game, but there are definitely ways you can do it. If you look down into the link in the description below, there's a bit there called Join Our Discord. Lovely Hammers Chat West Ham community. Definitely something I would recommend clicking on in general, but it's more importantly on the left-hand side there. There's a bit called Stream Links, which should find what you're looking for. I am, of course, in the holiday home of my boy, Mr. DeVito, up here in North Idaho today. Thankfully, I got up early enough to where I could make it calmly, and I'm here loving life. It is very cold. It is snowy in North Idaho, so the North Idaho TV network will probably be sort of swinging back and forth, which will be a bit difficult to deal with. But, however, we will be going through the entire game together, hopefully. So if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe. Hit that like button while you're down there because it helps us out massively. It pushes us up the rankings and stuff. You know how these things go. You hit the like button, then all of a sudden it goes further up, and we're more likely to be seeing you get more views. It helps the channel out. On YouTube, if you like the videos, hit the like. Trust me, it's one of the biggest things YouTube wants in the back end. They bloody love a bit of the like button. And hit that bell notification if you just subscribe, because we have plenty of stuff going on. We do live watch-alongs every single match day without fail. We did a live watch-along for the draw yesterday. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday, wasn't it? We also do loads of other videos all throughout the week. It's not just watching live stuff. We do loads of other videos discussing all the West Ham topics as and when they happen. So make sure to not miss any of that by hitting that bell notification button. Righty-o. While we were doing that, by the way, Stephen, thank you very much for the 320. Is that the yen symbol? It might be the yen symbol. I'm not sure. I'm not a learned enough man to... I think it is, but I can't remember. But thank you very much, Stephen, for the 320 into the full-time fund. That's very kind of you, sir. That's very, very kind of you indeed. While I put that in the top corner to give him the respect he deserves, good to see you, Judas, my friend, my trustworthy friend. I hope you are well. Let's get some sub bingo going, shall we? We're about 8 minutes away from kickoff. Let's have a look at that. Sub bingo is, of course, the game where we predict when David Moyes will make his first substitution. Doesn't mean you have to include the player if you don't want to. Time is the only thing that counts. Not that science is included and we actually do it correctly. At some point, I was going to figure it out and I didn't. I'm not going to lie. It's the way these things go sometimes. I'm, busy guy. But we still like to do it every single time. I'm going to go solid with 69 minutes, of course. And I'm going to say... I'm gonna be a little bit confident, right? I'm going to say that we're going to be leading. I'm going to say that we're going to be leading at that point. We're going to go a bit defensive, which is going to frustrate us. But I'm going to say we're going to take off Paqueta for Emerson. That's my bet. Paqueta for Emerson. Bit of a mad one. Don't know how I feel about it, but I'm going with it regardless. While you lob those in, of course, you don't have to put the player in, but if you want to add that little bit extra in there, the players are rolling across the bottom of your screen from the bench now as we speak. As I try to find the button I need to do this, is that. We need that. We need this. And then we can be rocking and rolling. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that should work. Oh, it does. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. There we go. Thank you very much, Stephen, for the 320 into the full-time man. Very, very kind of you, sir. Indeed. You do not need to do that whatsoever. John? Yes. This may look exactly like my flat in London, but it's... You know what I mean, John? This might look exactly the same, but Danny paid for it to look the same, so I felt comfortable. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Know what I mean? My boy Deckers, how are you, sir? How are you? Me and Frank, I was talking to Frank the other night, right? When we did that show, I was talking to him after. We were going to do another show at some point. I need to speak to you, bro. We haven't been on camera. We haven't been on camera for a while. We need to get something going. Anyway, let's have a look at some of these sub bingo, shall we? It is on in Peacock in the US, which should hopefully help. Having a little bit to try and find where the... Oh my God, the comments keep jumping up and down. There we go. Right, found it. Mark is saying 60 minutes. Celtic is saying 120, which isn't unfair and unrealistic. Steven's saying 69. Nice. Love that. Sean is saying 71. Dean is saying 65th minute as always. 69 says Reese. Nice, Deckers. Nice. Sorry, I'm just reminiscing. There should be links. If they're not on in there now, they usually happen about sort of 5 minutes, give or take, from kickoff. It's not always straight away. You know what I mean? 37, injury, stress, Ashley, very stressed. 74 minutes, says Gary. Cresswell, 78 minutes. This is probably a strong shout as well, Cresswell. 86th minute, Antonio for Ings. That's probably a sub that's definitely going to happen, HDU. I respect that. That's a strong shout. Benny off, as per usual, says Stephen, 70 seconds. Yeah, makes sense. Dave's going with the 57 minutes, 81st minute with Skamaka, says Spamalot. I respect it. And again, I want to see him get involved. 68 minutes, 4 now, says Ionix. Watch now how Maxwell Cornet is going to come off for Ben Rama and score. I wish he could. He's not actually on the bench, but I wish he could at some point. We'll see. Apparently he's been training this week. I did notice there was a Sky camera. There was a Sky camera at the flipping training ground a couple of days ago. And I saw it because Rebecca, the genius, the legend, the incredibly talented human being who does the audio. So if you ever listen to any of the audios on the Patreon, you need to thank Rebecca. And just thank her in general. She's a good person. Although if she sees this, I didn't say any of those words. She retweeted it. But I saw the camera was at the training ground and they were talking about how Cornet was training, although they said they hadn't seen him, so he must be somewhere else. Which is just very suspicious, isn't it? They're literally filming training and even they can't see him. I don't think he exists. 94th minute, says Stephen. 64 minutes, Antonio for Ings, says Pagey. 62 minutes, says Keith. 65 minutes, Skamaka for Suchek. 75 minutes, says John. Anthony will come on for Ings. Skamaka on for Ings. Injured, says Mark. Stress, 4 now for Benny. 65 minutes, Emerson instead of Johnson, maybe. Paqueta off, 69, and Antonio Ings up front. Yeah, that's again a solid shout, Mark. We might change the two up front. We might do it. I just doubt it under Moyes, but we might genuinely do it. We've got the people on the bench to do it. 70th minute, 4 now for Ben Rama. Some solid ones there. Deploy the boys. Come on, let's go. I was watching the show. I definitely wasn't. I'll message you after, Lucas. All I'll say is I was watching the I was watching the show on E20's own TV. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to do that. The other night when definitely someone wasn't pretending to be your dentist / lawyer / other things. I could say I know where one of those accounts came from. The rest of them, I had no idea who it was, who was running what. I respected it. But I just wanted to let you know I was watching it, it's great minds. It's great minds. Definitely not theft. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much to Dave, by the way, for the £3 now I'm on the right account because spam chat. Thank you, very, very kind of you. You don't have to do that for the full-time fund. I'll log your name in the thing in a second, but thank you very much. So you don't have to do that whatsoever. Let's get those final score predictions locked in, shall we? We are a couple of minutes away from kickoff. I have a timer in the top corner. It's one of those things with streaming and all that sort of stuff where there is a little bit of delay. So if you want to know exactly how far behind you I am, there is a thing in the top corner which will let you know exactly what second I am on, as best as I can. The North Idaho TV network, of course, is one of those things. And one last time, just in case, if you are looking for a way to watch the game, there are definitely ways you can do that, which should be appearing on the screen right about now. But let's get those final score predictions in, ladies and gentlemen. We've discussed the team, we've discussed subs, we've discussed the whole thing. We've been talking about it for an hour. Let's get those final score predictions locked in, ladies and gentlemen. Lob them in the chat and we will lock them in. I don't know. I'm not sure what this is. I saw someone do it once. I can't remember who did it, but it was about something else. It was about... I can't remember who it was or why it was. And for some reason, I've just completely embraced it as my own thing. And I don't know why. But you've got to get it. You've got to lock it in, you know? Anyway. Right, where's the thing I'm looking for? I'm looking for this. I just need that. That's what I need. Thank you. Just need that. Let's look at some of these score predictions, shall we? Let's have a look at some of these score predictions. While I do that, I want that in my life. I need to turn this down as well because it's going to be very loud. Right. Scroll up to the top of them because it's jumping about as per usual. Baby Bell wrapped in Serrano. Ooh, major. That sounds incredible. Do you know what? She might be able to hit. I don't know if she's in the kitchen. She might be in the other room. She might be able to hit us, right? But I've been talking about getting an air fryer, right? Now, I don't know. It just feels like something that could revolutionize my life. It might not, but I've been talking about it. This is an excellent argument for it, Major, and I might be using that in a conversation in the future. Ashley saying 3-1 to West Ham. Good, big. If you, I might be asking if you. Well, we'll see how the North WHUNFO TV network works out, but I might be asking for you. You seem to be able to find it better than I can. 2-2 says Mackenzie. Louisa saying 3-2 West Ham. Love that. 3-1 says Shane. Don't love that as much, but it is what it is. Mark saying 2-1, 1-0, 3-1. Gibbs White is the most dangerous. Yeah, he probably is, to be fair. Dr. Furs is going with 2-1 to West Ham. David saying 3-1 to the Irons. Bonafire saying... Bonfire. I don't know where that A came from. It's saying 2-0 to West Ham. INX with the 1-1. I do have bells. There are bells involved. Bells do exist, ladies and gentlemen. They are available. If they're voted for, they are available. 3-1 to the Irons. Ings, Benny, Paqueta. Oh, it'd be big. 2-1 says Mike. Sorry, 2-2 says Michael. I can't predict. My stomach is in knots. Damn you, Moise. So spam a lot. Hopefully, we'll be able to relieve a little bit of that as the game goes on. We'll see, though. I don't know. We'll see. 3-0 says West Ham. We're going 2-0 West Ham. 3-2 says Theoden King. Fabianski for the quad hat trick. We'd be big into that. Very unlikely to be big into that. Tristan, thank you very much for the $2 Australian. 2-0 Mings Masterclass incoming. We will take that. Thank you very much for the full-time fine. Did not need to do that at all, sir, but I appreciate it. Your name will be popped up in there in just a moment. 4-1 says Robbie. 3-0 says Ings. Hat trick. We're going to lose 4-0 says the Real Simpsons one. Fair. It's a bit of stress, but fair. Right, the game will be kicking off in just a moment on my screen. In just a moment. I don't know how I'm probably going to be a little bit behind you, so I'm going to try and change the old channel on the North WHUNFO TV network and see if we can catch up a little bit, because they still haven't kicked off on my screen. I just want to see if we can get a little bit closer. That's Everton versus Aston Villa. That one was Everton versus Aston Villa. We can move on from now. But as I said, if you are looking for a way to watch it, there are definitely ways available to you. There are ways you can find it. Just have a quick little look. Kickoff is about to happen on my screen now. I know I'm somewhat behind. I'll be able to catch up a little bit as we go in, but let's just have a look at kickoff anyway. Deploy the boys. It's West Ham versus Nottingham Forest at the London Stadium. Time to run 2 things. Let's go. Let's bloody go. I'll stick on this one for a bit, and then we'll see if we can change the channel up on the North WHUNFO TV network and make something happen. Also, I need to put those names in the thing, don't I? So let me do that as well before I forget. Let me do those things before I forget. Straight away, Ben Johnson battling with the other Johnson. That's going to be an absolute nightmare for me. That's going to be an absolute nightmare for me to try and pronounce. But Ben Johnson holding off Brennan Johnson there to stop him from going forward. It'll be an interesting one. I'm interested to see whether they're playing a 4-3-3 as well today, or whether they're playing a sort of 4-2-3-1. When I was sort of looking at a lineup, I thought it was a 4-3-3, but we'll see. There we go. All of them should now be in. Beautiful. Thank you. Oh, Jesus Christ, I almost kept in broadcast. Thank you very much to Dave Tristan for the full-time funds. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. I almost just stopped the entire thing. That would have been very negative there. Nice turn there from Morgan Gibbs White. Can't quite make it go forward too far. Just sort of hooking it up there. Jared Bowen collects it in a nice position, finds Danny Ings. He's going to cut inside onto his left. Couldn't quite find his shot. It was a nice opportunity, though. It was a nice opportunity early for Danny Ings getting in there. Just a little bit of pressure. I was a little bit concerned by how isolated he was, a little bit. But an awful pass back from Nottingham Forest, trying to move the ball forward. Jared Bowen with a very easy intercept, blaze it forward to Danny Ings nicely. Tries to cut inside and can't quite pull the trigger, but close. Paul, good to see you, my friend. Afternoon all. 2-0 result on the cards today. Danny Ings' first goal. We'll take that. It's fine to say the other Johnson. I'll just say the other Johnson. So we have Ben Johnson, who is Johnson. And we have Brennan Johnson, who I will call the other Johnson. That is what I'll try to do. That is really weird. That is really weird. Does it happen on other channels or is it just ours, Dean? That's really odd. That's really odd. Don't know. Forest passing it around sort of on the halfway line. We're very deep, but that's a nice interception once again from Jared Bowen. Declan Rice tries to lay it out wide to Thomas Souček, who's striding forward purposefully. Oh, nice idea. I don't think he's quite going to get there. Renan Lodi does well to just cover that, and Jared Bowen gives away the foul. But it was a nice idea to try and slot that through ball forward. Leon, good to see you. Almost choked myself there. Leon, good to see you. I hope you're well. Good. What a random team Nottingham Forest have. Look at that lineup, man. That is just random as all hell. Navas. You have Keylor Navas defend as a goalkeeper behind Joe Worrell, who's next to Renan Lodi, who also has John Joe Shelby and Jack Colback. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The most random assortment of players. I absolutely adore it. But the most random assortment of players you have to respect. Looking for the big chip forward for Chris Wood, easily collected by Fabianski way over the top. Chris Wood, the striker, we're going to have to be a little bit concerned by. He's damaged us in the past, of course, and he's been doing well for Nottingham Forest since he signed for them, or at least in the games I've seen, to be fair. Chipped forward, nodded down. Thomas Souček again getting forward on this right-hand side. The midfield three makeup seems to be Thomas Souček on the right, which makes sense. That's usually where he is. Declan Rice in the middle and Paqueta on the left. And Thomas Souček is definitely getting very advanced, which is good. It's what you really want. He's just standing right by the touchline waiting for the throw. I love to see that. A terrible throw-in somehow gets us a corner. We'll take that. We'll net that corner. A relaxing experience, a beautiful soundtrack, you know. I love that soundtrack to that game. I'm obsessed with it. I listen to it fairly regularly still. It's going to be a corner. Jared Bowen to take it on the right-hand side. Do I just see Tom down? Don't know. Jared Bowen to whip it in with his left foot. Oh, it was going in the corner, straight from the corner, and the Keylor Navas was there. Would have stopped it. It bounces about a bit. Bowen nods it back. Oh my god. Angelo Ogbonna. Jared Bowen sort of lofted it back in, and for some reason Declan Rice headed it down. Ogbonna runs onto it and just hits an absolute thumping kick. Big thumps from Angelo Ogbonna. Goes just significantly wayward. That's such a weird issue. I don't know what would cause it. Because I've never seen it before. That's really weird. Yeah, Bowen, early stages in this game, Bowen is getting in and about, doing a lot of interception work. Which probably says they're trying to pass down his side to some extent as well. Soufal tries to link it in, can't quite find Bowen. Tell you what, it's not a bad start from both sides in terms of if you're watching this as a neutral, it's not a bad start. Danny Dyers, Chocolate Monkey, it's good to see you. Carry on, my way. Yes, lad. I hope you well. It's going to be a long game. I can feel it. It's going to be a tense game so far. Renan Lodi. What a weird, good interception again from Declan Rice. How was Renan Lodi ended up at Nottingham Forest? I'll never know. He's only like 24 as well. It's not like they've signed someone from it's not like they signed a fullback from Atletico who was past his prime. He's 24. I don't know. Again, lays it out to Soufal from the back, trying to take the ball forward. Nottingham Forest have been trying to work their way down this left-hand side, our right-hand side, quite frequently so far. Chris Wood hanging around in that direction as well. We've only seen them really try to go down the right-hand side once, and that was when the other Johnson tried to take on our Johnson and lost. We'll see if they continue to focus down that side. I mean, which would make sense. I mean, if you're looking to try and trying to find weaknesses, not that Soufal is significantly worse defensively than Ben Johnson is, because I don't think he necessarily is, but he's certainly going to be much more adventurous than Ben Johnson will be. And so if you're looking for the space in behind, that is definitely where it's going to be. So trying to work down that way looks nice. Oh, nice little flick. Oh, nice 1-2 between Ben Rama and Paqueta. The ball in from Ben Rama at the end wasn't great. There wasn't no real way to do anything there. Souček hooks it back towards Jarabone. This is nicely done. Jarabone hits it. Can't quite bend it in. I tell you what, it's an exciting start. It's an exciting start. The crowd are loud as well. So far, so fun from both teams. We've certainly had the better of the chances as well. Not that Nottingham Forest haven't been able to get the ball forward. They haven't really got anything in that sort of... in a sort of nice attacking area as of yet, properly, whereas we've got into the area a couple of times. It's going to be yet another corner to West Ham, this time taken from, of course, Declan Rice, because why not? Looking for a short corner kick routine with Ben Rama. It's laid out to Johnson. I'll be honest with you, the opportunity is potentially gone, although everyone has stayed forward. Ben Rama looking for a way to cross it in, does after a third attempt. Hits the first man, a little bit of a waste there. Soufal flicks it back onto Paqueta, who does really nicely. Pull back wasn't bad. We're going to win yet another corner. Knocking on the door. Knocking on the door. Paul P agrees. Not hello, who's there? It's us. You know what I mean? We're in there right now. We're trying to make it happen. We're trying to make it happen. Jarabone to take it this time from the right-hand side. Put it in, and it's knocked over again for another corner. It was one of those ones where, again, it was bending right in. Jared Bowen has clearly been told to just proper put it in there. Proper put it in there. Thomas Souček is getting a warning from the referee here, as we're going to go for yet another corner, this time again from the opposite side. Declan Rice, Souček, and I don't know who that is, battling in the middle for Nottingham Forest. Oh, looking for Bonner at the back. Keylor Navas manages to stop it, run onto it, hit it, Paqueta. Oh, it was flipping close. Yet another corner. Jesus, that was close. Ball gets fired in from the corner. At the back, Jared Bowen can almost get there. Keylor Navas palms it away. Paqueta fires it across, and it deflects big time off whichever one of those defenders. I think it's Felipe, maybe? I'm not sure. It's either Felipe or Worrell who are battling with Souček a second ago. It deflects off him and then off the post. And it's going to be yet another corner. It is Felipe. We've got confirmation that it is Felipe now. They are under a lot of pressure right now, Nottingham Forest. Just corner after corner after corner. My timer is about 20 seconds behind where I'm actually at. I have to change that in a second. Jared Bowen's going to whip it in. Punched away from Keylor Navas. Dinked back in from Ben Rama. Bonner can't quite get his head to it. And it's hooked away from Nottingham Forest. West Ham maintained possession nicely in a good attacking, aggressive opposition in their half. Late shot to Paqueta. They're just trying to find their way in. It's whipped in towards the box. Can't quite get there. Nodded away. Declan Rice does nicely there again. Just keeping the possession inside the area. Oh, Jared Bowen does really well to get it past. Lodi tries to bend it in. Deflects. Paqueta can't quite get it in first time. Second time, shot deflects into the hands. I tell you what. Not a bad start. I did see, I don't know who it was. I did see a comment in the midst of all that. I did sort of glance across the... the chat, and I did see someone say that we've started okay in the last couple of games as well. That's very true. That's very true. And it's not an indicator of the entire rest of the game by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm going to take it as a positive for now. You know what I mean? I'm going to take it as a positive for now, even if that is very, very true. A big positive start for us. I'm not going to complain. We've just got to keep it up. And the momentum will drop off. The pressure will probably end up dropping off. But we're seeing them make mistakes, and we're seeing that if we can capitalise on this 4-3-3, Souček continuing to get forward into advanced areas, Paqueta sort of screening just behind Declan Rice sitting as well. I think there's a lot to go on here, which has been positive so far, despite the fact we have 100% started well in recent games and then just dropped off to complete and utter awfulness. Danny Ings-Fowler. I'm taking it so far. Oh, Budgie, my G, how are you, sir? Budgie, how are you? My friend. I love Budgie. Budgie's videos are great as well. Green Street Elite, you should definitely subscribe. Whenever Budgie does videos, he obviously appears on other channels as well, West Ham Network and the like, but get involved in his personal thing. Whenever my man uploads, you got to be getting on that. I hope you're well, sir. Hope you're good. Whipped in from Nottingham Forest from a free kick from deep. Header on. Fabianski palms it over. I thought he would have, probably could have been a catch situation there, but he doesn't. Just double check that worked. That did. Okay, cool. I also should probably end the poll at this point. 1,000 people voted in the poll. How do you feel about the starting 11? 63% said, yeah, it's all right. 16% said it's poor. 15% were very happy, though. And only 4% were fuming. So sort of a mostly positive vibe there. Mostly positive vibe. A little bit of a little bit of a not on it, but you know. Nottingham Forest to whip in the corner this time from the left-hand side themselves over the top of everyone. Declan Rice gets a sort of non-convincing header away. But Danny Ings is the one who ends up hooking it away eventually. Danny Ings sitting deep for corners, I'm not super keen on. I get it, but I'm not super keen on. I think, you know, over the time of David Moyes being at West Ham, he does like to have literally every single person in the box for corners to defend. I understand it, right? I get it, 100%. You know, you're talking about just numerical advantage. It makes sense. I will say though, Jarrod Bowen pushed over then. No foul. No foul. Felipe pushing over Jarrod Bowen. No foul, apparently. Timer stopped. Thank you very much, ATU. It did. Don't know how. Don't know why. But it did. Thank you very much. But yeah, I understand numerically why you would want to do that. And when you have someone like Scamacca, who's a big, strong guy, I get it. And when you have someone like Mikel Antonio, who's actually decent in the air, or at least used to be. Thank you very much for everyone who noticed, by the way, because I did not notice at all. Should be fixed now? Yes, good. That's fine. But when you have Danny Ings, who's not really going to do anything in that situation, you might as well just leave him forward. Give you some options. But he's coming back. It's just numerical. I get it, but you know. Big direct boot from Keylor Navas accurately forwards. Looking for Gibbs White. It is sort of a flat 4-3-3 from Nottingham Forest, at least by my judgment. It does look like you've got the other Johnson on the right-hand side, and you've got Morgan Gibbs White on the left with Chris Wood down the middle. That's how it feels anyway. Again, nice cross-field diag there, looking forward. Ben Rama does well, looking to try and cut his way inside. Oh, that's not... It was a nice ball. Souček making a good run in behind. Can't quite make it happen. Yeah, I think he does as well, Natello. I think he does as well. I think 4-3-3 really suits him, to be honest. I think if you are to play a 4 at the back, I think a 4-3-3 is probably probably suits him the best. Soufal in a really nice position to cross, does it with his weak foot instead. He couldn't quite get it on his strong one, and I tell you what, it was towards Souček. And yet again, ladies and gentlemen, we have another corner. We have yet another corner. I agree. I strongly agree. I think the 4-3-3 really works for him. I think if you can just let him to get further forward, I think he causes such problems. He's got a really smart movement. He's really good at being in the right place at the right time, Kevin Nolan style. He's battling with Felipe once more. We're going to get a corner from the left-hand side. Declan Rice to take it. In swinger. Ooh, looking towards Aged in the centre, and Keylor Navas does well to punch it away. He battles with, it felt like, everyone there to get it away. But yeah, I feel like it works for him. I think it probably works better for everyone involved. I think a 4-3-3 is arguably the way to go. I'm surprised that Moyes is going with it, but I think today it makes sense. It was a nice idea from Jarrod Bowen trying to slot through Danny Ings. Can't quite get there. Nottingham Forest pick up the ball. They've been very wasteful today. They've given it away a lot. There's been a lot of interceptions in the early stages of this game from Nottingham Forest passes that are just being swept and kept pretty cleanly away. This is now accurate. This is now accurate to where I'm at. In fact, it's about half a second behind where I'm actually at. But that is correct. That is correct. Soufal hooked forward. Throw into West Ham. I'm okay with it's a bit mad, but I'm okay with us just like bombarding them at this point, you know. Like, to be fair, with how bad we've been at corners, I'm not entirely shocked recently, but we're at least getting them into good positions right now. Short corner felt like a bit of a waste, but we're at least getting them into good positions right now. And the fact we're winning so many is showing that we're on the front foot. We're in a good advanced positions and we're forcing them awkwardly. There you go. That's a great example of why you don't want two left-footed centre-backs in that exact scenario. Ogbonna and Aged passing it between each other. Ogbonna's the one who's starting at left centre-back with Aged at right centre-back. And obviously, they're both left-sided centre-backs. They're both left-footed. And so they were passing it between each other there. And you couldn't... Aged just wasn't comfortable enough to sort of open up his body, turn around and sort of play the ball forward. Instead, they were awkwardly passing it between each other at the back. And it almost played us into big trouble. Thankfully, we've managed to sort of scramble it away. Nottingham Forest continue to have possession of the ball, but in the centre circle now, as opposed to right outside our area. So we've managed to deal with it. But that's exactly why you want someone of a... You want to sort of pair them up a little bit differently. But again, I agree with David Moyes' decision here. It's the exact same centre-back pairing I would have gone for in the exact same system I would have gone for. So I can't complain too much. But that's exactly why you want to have someone of a right-footed variety next to him, because it's just a little bit awkward. Ben Johnson and the other Johnson there battling. The other Johnson diving in, trying to get a block. He puts everything out there, and Ben Johnson just accidentally stamps on him. Nothing bad there, and the other Johnson seems to be up and moving fine again. So now deep. No, he is on the bench. He is on the bench. There it is. Areola, Cresswell, Kera, Emerson, Fornals, Lanzini, Downs, Scamacca, Antonio. Something else I should say about that bench, which we didn't discuss at the time. I like the balance of it. You know what I mean? We've got some fullbacks, although we don't have a right back, although Kera, I guess, worst case scenario, complainer. You've got some centre midfielders. We've got different varieties. We've got attacking ones. We've got defensive ones. You've got people who can play on the wing. You've got people who can play up front. There's a lot of variety there. That's a good bench for us. Unlike us as well at the moment. That's a good bench for us. Johnson's playing really well on left. Yeah, I think so far he's dealing with the other Johnson quite well. He's a good player. The other Johnson is a good player and can cause big problems. I think having a more defensively solid left back for this game, I think, was the right call, because if you get a bit too adventurous, you step a bit too far forward, and then all of a sudden the other Johnson can get in behind you like a whippet and can really make problems. And Ben Johnson's doing really well so far today. Again, I think that was the right call so far. At least it seems to be the right call. Sort of lowers your attacking output a little bit, but I think it gives you a little bit more of a defensive facility to build off of. And actually, when you have someone like Ben Rama, who maybe necessarily I think Ben Rama's work rate gets dissed a little bit too much. I think he's definitely better. He's got better work rate than people give him credit for, but he certainly isn't Pablo Fornals in that sense, or the other Johnson getting in around the back there, does well, finds Morgan Gibbs-White just outside the area, shot straight into the hands of Fabianski. We'll take, but that wasn't bad. But when you have a player like Saïd Benrahma, who's not necessarily defensively the best from that position, it's nice to have someone with that good sort of defensive solidity to allow him to sort of do that without there being super amounts of pressure to do that. And one goalkeeper, which is a great point, and only one, and he's senior. What a time to be alive! Laid out wide from Bowen to Soufal. Puts it into a really good position, just away. Oh, Danny Ings. Annie Dings. Annie Dings. Annie, are you okay? The answer is no. That header was scuffed, mate. Soufal picks up the ball, puts it into a really good area, just above Thomas Souček. Couldn't quite get there. Thomas Souček and Danny Ings, who's there. I don't know whether he doesn't expect it to come to him. It's a bit low, so he's a bit too far back. So he sort of has to really bend over to try and get his head on it, and it goes... It almost hits the corner flag. That was an awful header. That was a great opportunity as well. We are showing a lot of positivity right now. Again, the 4-3-3 is really working for us going forward. Really working for us going forward. I'm very happy with that aspect of it. Do we have anyone in that 6-yard box for our crosses? I mean, ever? Not commonly, Ionix. I say that. That's one of the things that's good about today is Thomas Souček is really advanced. Thomas Souček, to be honest with you, is almost playing as another striker at times. For the majority of the game, he's really central. He's really high up the pitch, and it means whenever we get the ball out to Vladimir Coufal, almost certainly, again, playing it in, just tucked away again, but he was in the box again. He was in that 6-yard box at the back post. Not quite a perfect area there, but he was there just in case it happened, and Annie Dings was in front of it. The ball ends up going sort of just in between them. It doesn't work out. But again, then another push there from... that time was Chris Wood who just pushes over Jared Bowen. Again, Nottingham Forest have very clearly been told to just... to be honest, whenever Jared Bowen gets near the ball, just push him. Which is fair enough. It just is what it is. But it's very clearly the instructions today. I don't know why it came into my head. I guess because I'm saying the word Annie. And I was listening to that song yesterday. Well, I was listening to the instrumental yesterday. Rather than the lyrics. It's a great instrumental. The drums in it are awesome. They're simple, but they're just like driving the pingers and it's good. Anyway, Jared Bowen's played a free kick in from the touchline. It's sort of in the corner quadrant, so it's essentially another corner. Right hand side, he's going to try and whip this ball in. Having a little look at Keylor Navas doing some shouting. He's been good today, Keylor Navas, at dominating in the box, which you need against teams like us. And we're put into a dangerous area again, headed away. There are people there. I tell you what, if that header doesn't go as well as it does, there's a big problem for them. Ben Rama now in the corner quadrant on the opposite side of the pitch on the left, tries to fire it in. It deflects. It's going to be, you can complete the sentence, ladies and gentlemen, another corner for West Ham. Right-hand side this time. Or sorry, left-hand side. It's going to be Declan Rice to take it with his right. That's our 7th corner of the game. In the what? 25th minute? And again, it's not bad. But again, Keylor Navas comes out and punches it confidently. Not into a great position, but Paqueta can only sort of nod it back towards the centre of the area. And he managed to get it away significantly better. Keylor Navas is doing really well at that side of the game. Because we've put him under a lot of pressure in the beginning of this game. And he is, every single time he's been asked to, come out and done well with it. So he's having a decent game. Annie Ding is chasing it down. Big booted clearance from Joe Worrell. And West Ham are going to collect the ball in our own half. But once again, in a way where we can start again and rebuild. That, however, is... strong agreement on that one, Deckers. Like, listen, Smooth Criminal, a great song. The Alien Ant Farm version of Smooth Criminal is elite. That is some world-class music. Alien Ant Farm have 2 great songs. Movies is underrated by Alien Ant Farm. Don't care what anyone says. Movies is a great song. But Smooth Criminal by Alien Ant Farm is huge. It's huge. Huge. Better than the original, in my opinion. It's up there. There are very few songs. There are very few covers I would say are better than the originals, right? There are very few. There are a couple of notable ones, but there's very few. Alien Ant Farm Smooth Criminal is one of them. The other one I would say, Real Big Fish, Take On Me. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Free kick from the left-hand side for West Ham. Paqueta whips it in, looking towards Agard. Nodded away in the end by Nottingham Forest. Not very comfortably or confidently. Hooked back by Nathan Agard. Can't quite get it in there. Noeth Agard. Johnson collects it, and again we have the ball. We're doing well. And for more than 10 minutes this time, Panorama on the ball. Trying to take on Williams on the right at the right back slot. Lays it short to Paqueta. Nice 1-2. Shot was disappointing in the end. Maybe could have gone for the cross. I don't blame him going for the shot, but he sort of tries to open up his body and bend it towards the far corner, and in the end, it just goes straight into the hands of Keylor Navas. I like with this 4-3-3 how you sort of have two different elements on the right and on the left. So down the right hand side, you have a sort of heavy work rate, right? You've got Sufal, you've got Souček, you've got Bowen, you've got a lot of work rate down that right hand side. A lot of sort of power, a lot of sort of people who are just going to bundle you over. And then on that left hand side, you've got a bit more technique to it. You know, with Paqueta as on the left of the three, and obviously Ben Rama up there, a bit more technique, a little bit more precision in there. I like that balance. It gives you something a little bit different. I'm really enjoying this 4-3-3. I think this is working for us so far. And I love how central and how advanced Thomas Souček is getting. Again, they've played the ball back to Keylor Navas, and he's the guy challenging Keylor Navas for the ball. I really like that. We're putting them under a lot of pressure again, and they're not looking super confident with it. They're trying to play the sort of ball out, and we're just cutting out everything. This is a good performance so far. I'm enjoying it. Is this what enjoying it? It feels like again. My God. My God. The video is great. I saw someone else say it up there. I forgot to click on it. But yeah. I like the video for it as well. The breakdown in that is so good as well. The breakdown, and then he's walking along the street with the things. Oh, I love it. I love it. Another great, yeah. The video for movies reminds me of the video for is it My Way, Lip Biscuit? The one where they do all the different things? I think it is. I'm not sure. So I'm thinking about movies is underrated. Thank you. I don't know these days about Alien Ant Farm. I tell you what, I'll be honest with you. I don't know enough about Alien Ant Farm's back catalogue in general. I've only know a few. I'll have a look. I'll tell you what, I will listen to these days by Alien Ant Farm the second this match is over. DDCH. And next video, next stream, if you're here and you remember, remind me, and I'll report back. Ooh, let's go. Not hoping that I need to go back to A&E, but if I do, let's go. I need that. I need it in my life. If you don't follow Dean on Twitter, do that, because Dean puts out I'm telling you, man, Dean puts out some big big mixes. If you're for an A&E, a great way to pass the time, but honestly, bangers. Half an hour in, I tell you what, I'm really happy with the performance so far. I'm really happy with it. We're passing around the back, and again, it's just... every time Aguerd gets the ball, there's just a little bit of uncomfort in terms of... He's getting it sort of sideways. Ben Rama does well to keep possession of the ball there in an awkward situation. And Paqueta, with nice first-time pass, just allows us to get forward faster. This is good. Out to Jarrod Bowen on the right-hand side, up against Renan Lodi. Looking to try and put it onto his stronger foot. Manages to go past to... sort of bent in shot cross type thing, gets blocked out easily, but Sufal picks it up. I tell you what, Lodi, who's standing a bit too far off Vladimir Sufal, I think he needs to get a little bit tighter, because realistically Sufal's not going to be able to get past him, and he's sort of standing off him a little bit to give him a bit of space. So if he tries to go past him, tries to dart past him, then he'll be able to catch up to him and have that sort of advantage. But realistically, it's allowing Sufal too much time to get the ball into the box, which is what he wants to do. He should be getting touch tight to him. It worked with Jarrod Bowen the first time, but it needs to be the opposite when it's Sufal. Nottingham Forest have got forward in numbers here. Well, we're sat deep in a good defensive position. Williams' cross in the end was way over the top of everyone. It lands at the feet of Renan Lodi on the far post. He's going to try and put it in again. Can't quite make it work. Block from Vladimir Sufal. It's going to be a rare corner for Nottingham Forest. A rare corner. Ooh, that's an interesting shout, Oscar. I don't think I've heard the Scissor Sisters one. Scissor Sisters have some bangers as well. I was listening to some Scissor Sisters the other day. What was the wake up in the morning. I don't feel like dancing. That has a great cover. Obviously, it's Scissor Sisters, but there's a great cover of it by Hasty Dixie, which I think is a bagger. So, but I have not heard this. So I need to listen to it. Hooked into the box from second time from the corner goes nowhere from Nottingham Forest. They try to hook it in a second time, doesn't really happen. Benrahma comes charging away and Felipe just on top of him stops anything from happening. And somehow that went against West Ham, not Nottingham Forest. I don't know whether it was a dive, maybe it was a handball. I'm not sure. A little bit surprised, but Benrahma, not the fastest person in the world, was just not able to get away from his man, and Felipe was on top of him in a big way. Nottingham Forest working their way down the right hand side right now, trying to find a good crossing position. Again, this is one of the big battles, is they're going to be looking for these crosses because obviously Chris Wood is a big man and could do big bits in that sort of area. Goal kick to West Ham, and can do big bits in those sort of areas, and so they're going to be trying to find these crosses. But with Ogbonna and Aged and potentially Souček, if we're sitting deep for a longer period of time, I'll be honest with you, I'm not too concerned about it. It's a strong situation, and obviously it's not something I'm super keen to be testing. I'm not super keen to be sat here going, yeah, let's have a look at some crosses. Come on, Chris Wood, what you got? Because it's bloody Chris Wood. However, it's not the worst situation to be in, and if they're not getting sort of centrally into good positions to make anything happen, which they haven't been so far, I'm feeling all right about it. I don't know. I may be getting too ahead of myself, but I am very happy with it so far. Jack Holback forced back there. Again, nicely done. And Danny Ings getting in with the pressures early. 8 shots from us, 8 attempts from us so far, compared to Nottingham Forest, who've only had 2. It's been a really good half hour from us. Much, much better than usual. Not flawless, obviously, never flawless, but genuinely good stuff. Touching opposition box as well. Again, equally. Oh, an awkward pass from Keylor Navas. Lottie just about gets there under a lot of pressure from Jarrod Bowen. They are battling in the bottom corner. Jarrod Bowen wins it. Love that. Yes, come on. Touches in the box, by the way. 13 for us. I think only 2 or 3 for Nottingham Forest so far. Which again shows just how dominant we have been. A lot of corners, obviously. Benrahma can't quite find a way to get past his man. Decides to pass it back. Very happy so far. Yeah, strongly, yeah. I agree. Far from an ideal situation. It's not like I'm not sat here thinking this is the perfect performance or anything. We've obviously yet to score. I think corners we could probably be doing a bit better, despite the fact we're getting a lot. It's definitely getting a bit more quiet and a bit more scrappy, but overall, 35 minutes in, we've been by far the better team. And we've shown a lot of dominance so far. We need to make sure we stay on top of that. And the 4-3-3 is really working. Thomas Souček, again, staying forward there, battling for it, winning the ball back, firing it across, which is a bold move from Thomas Souček, because I don't think that's ever going to do anything. But, the fact that he's there and collecting it, nice from Paqueta, then dinks it in. It was a nice idea, almost again. Danny Ings can't quite control it down, but nicely done. Oh, and another lovely touch from Paqueta, man. Oh, and a nice outfit. Paqueta, man. Let's go. And then Jarrod, and then Benrahma. Paqueta goes down in the area. There was a collision there between Lucas Paqueta and one of Nottingham Forest's players. He's holding his shoulder, which is a bit scary. We'll have a look and see how this goes, but yeah. He's doing okay. He's not really doing much in the game right now. He sort of runs in and Jonjo Shelvey pushes him directly. So Paqueta lays off the ball nicely to Said Benrahma. And as he sort of runs in, Jonjo Shelvey pushes him into... I don't know who it is. I think it might be Neco Williams, maybe. I think it was the right back he gets pushed into. And he falls down really awkwardly after the collision. He instantly started banging the floor and holding his shoulder. Hopefully this isn't serious, but that's incredibly annoying, especially after he just did like some beautiful maneuvers, a couple of lovely takedowns from a higher ball, laying it out nice 1-2, beautifully done. But yeah, Danny Ings, Jeff, he's doing all right. He's doing all right. Certainly not bad by any stretch of imagination. He's not having a heck of a lot. He's not having a heck of a lot to do right now. But he's doing his thing. It's not going incredibly, but it's not going badly either. I would put him at a solid 6 right now. You know, a solid 6. Stressfully, yes. Bell could make the difference. Okay, maybe. If the people vote for it, then we do it. You know, it's the way these things work. There is another vote for it. If the people vote for it, it's working. He seems to be moving though. I think he's going to come back on. It's going to be a corner in the meantime from the left-hand side. Declan Rice once again gets it in. Thomas Tuchel just a little bit underneath it. Was it Thomas Tuchel? It might have been Jared Bowen. Just a little bit underneath it. Paqueta's come back on now. His shoulder is becoming just an increasing issue, isn't it? He's on the ball instantaneously, lays it off. Ben Rama can't quite get past his man. Couple of step overs, can't do anything. The cross ends up it's significantly wayward. It's going to be a goal kick to Nottingham Forest. But again, good that we're on top of them. Honestly, I'm a bit concerned about the shoulder thing, obviously, for obvious reasons. I'm a bit concerned about the shoulder thing because, one, it's always just a reoccurring injury is never a great thing. Two, though, if we're looking at a situation in which he's in a 50-50 on that side of his body, he can't challenge for it because obviously his shoulder is probably going to be a problem. He can't challenge for it. And it's sort of opposition players will know that and can sort of maneuver themselves in that sort of situation. Thankfully, it's not a significant knee injury or something like that, which would be a big problem. It probably doesn't affect his game as much as something like that is, but it's not ideal, is it? Big boot forward. Jared Bowen getting up and winning that header. We'll take that. I tell you what, the referee lets that play on. Other referees would have given that as a foul to Nottingham Forest, but he lets it play on. Thomas Suchek finds Sofao, who runs it directly into the corner, and that's going to be a throw in to Nottingham Forest, surely. He's a bit frustrated. Renan Lodi there was just like physically moving him out of the way, and it is going to be a throw in. Referees have let a lot of things go, to be fair. Yeah, a lot of frustration about Danny Ings. He's controls that and then just the pass wasn't great. And then the flick back directly into the path of Nottingham Forest. That's poor from Danny Ings. And now the other Johnson is streaming forward. Yes, Chris Woods, but we absolutely just completely clatter into him. We just smothered him there. And the other Johnson's done well to win everything. And it is Danny Ings who gives it away. Both the original ball and then chases all the way back and gives away the free kick. Sloppy from Danny Ings, as Evan said. Definitely the correct way to word that. Lee says, I think the players are liking this formation better if we win. I hope Moyes will stick to a more attacking approach. I would agree with that. I think this is definitely working for us better. Let's say that will play top, so I'd replace Ings with Skamaka after 60 minutes and get some height in the box. It's a nice idea, but I'll be honest with you, Skamaka's awful in the air. So, or at least I've never seen Skamaka header a ball and being like super confident, you know what I mean, about it. I've never seen him header the ball and gone, oh, look at that. And I was never, anytime I'd seen him beforehand or anytime any of that had happened beforehand, I never saw him do any of that either. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Thank you very much, Budge. Very kind. Hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. We are absolutely flying right now. We are 2 off the 300 mark, which is our goal for every stream. Our goal for every watch along is 300, and we are 2 off that. So if we can get that'd be beautiful. Then we're playing with house money. Then we play with money. King Henry, there are definitely ways you can watch the game. Hugh, there are definitely ways you can watch the game. I would suggest you have a little look. Have a little look in places. You know, I don't know. Couldn't say where possibly, but there are definitely ways you could do it. Timer's a bit off now. Timer's a bit off. Time will be paused for about 20 seconds while I let it get back to where it should be. Because, you know, the North Idaho TV network, you know how these things go. Ben Johnson and the other Johnson battling again down that side to try and, this time the other way around. The other Johnson defending against Ben. Game has definitely slowed down significantly. We're still on top. We're still on top, and we're still the better team. But it has slowed down significantly at this point. And we're looking at a situation where, Souček almost managed to get forward. Can't quite get there. Ings is a good opportunity. Can't quite get the control at any point. Thomas Souček battles for it, wins the ball. Nicely done. Thomas Souček showing a bit of close control that I didn't know he had. Finds side. Benrahma tries to cross the ball in. It's a good block from Gonzo Shelby. It's going to be yet another corner. It has slowed down slightly. The opening 30 minutes or so I thought was completely ours, and we were completely on top and really making things happen. Since then, it's sort of died down and stepped down just a little bit, and we aren't as dominant as we once were. Although it's not that Nottingham Forest are creating anything. It's just we're being a lot less forceful than we were. Our 9th corner of the game already. But we're still on top, and I'm still happy. Declan Rice to loft the ball in towards the back post, this time looking for Jared Bowen for some reason. And again, Keylor Navas does well to just get up and collect that one. No stress. No stress. Downey saying, our attack is predictable and easy to read. There's never any inventional, unpredictable movements. I would say, usually, I would strongly agree with that. I think today is better. With the 4-3-3, I think it is better, mainly because of Thomas Souček's involvement as high up the pitch as humanly possible. That helps a lot, because it's just an extra body in there that is sort of hanging on that last man, that is sort of pushing it in there. It's not a situation where he's getting forward and then hanging outside the area and sort of trying to link up play. No, he is in there specifically to score goals. And so that's helping a bit. But I don't necessarily disagree with you. I think Benrahma is flattering to deceive quite a lot today. I think he's playing all right, but he's not really doing much. I think Jared Bowen's looking a little bit more lively. But yeah, I think in general, Danny Ings is struggling a bit. But I think in general, I think you're not wrong. But I think it's also sort of working. I think it's also sort of working today a bit better than usual, but not by much. Not by much. The other Johnson just failing to control that one before it goes out of play. Just pass just straight away from Nottingham Forest. Although they win the ball back from yet another predictable West Ham awful throw-in. I tell you what, you want to know awful stuff? Look at a West Ham throw-in. The other Johnson goes down in the area there. He is desperate for a penalty. Referee sort of lets it go. VAR is going to be checked. It's going to be checked by VAR. We're going to see the replay here. The other Johnson with a poor piece of control. That is awful from the other Johnson. Brennan Johnson, that is a terrible dive. It makes no sense. I'm not going to act... Look, Ben Johnson originally is holding him here. He's originally holding him here. Brennan Johnson holds him off. And then Ben Johnson's leg comes through and hits the back of Brennan Johnson's leg. At which point Brennan Johnson is still 100% standing, feels it, goes right. And there's that split second in his head where he goes, right, now I'm going to go down. And throws himself down in a way that makes no sense for the way he was hit. Because it's completely unnatural. It just goes to the floor. I'll be honest. It's probably not a yellow because Ben Johnson does literally make contact with him. But I don't know about them ones. That feels a little bit sus there. A little bit sus, I'm not going to lie. It's also just a bad dive. If you're going to dive, at least do it well, mate. At least do it well. He's tried to take his way forward there. He's being smothered out by both Paqueta and Ogbonna. Forces him passing it backwards twice. The 1 minute of stoppage time is up. And there is the halftime whistle. The halftime score is West Ham United 0, Nottingham Forest 0. I think the last 15 minutes or so of that half, the last 15 minutes or so, have slowed down quite a bit. And have certainly not been as impactful, let's say, as they were in the first half an hour. But the first half an hour, I was really, really happy with it. I can't lie, I really was. I thought we've been playing really well. I think I think we've done a lot of really good things in that first half, and the 4-3-3 is really, really working for us. There were concerns, I think, defensively for me that it might leave us a little bit susceptible, but we've been so on the front foot for the vast majority of that half that actually Nottingham Forest barely even got near us. As I said, as the half went on, that last 15 minutes specifically, they've gotten a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more further forward. They've created a little bit more. They've had more touches in the box. But before that, it was practically a complete and utter domination from us. And I'm really, really happy for us. The 4-3-3 is really working, especially for Thomas Souček. It's really working for Thomas Souček. That midfield three, allowing him to get forward into more advanced areas while still maintaining a sort of more support in that central area with Rice and Paqueta, who's not going to get as far forward as Thomas Souček, is working, and it's causing them issues. He's able to get so far forward that at times he's the most advanced person forward. He's going for the press, but more importantly, it means that when we're playing forward, we have a big man that we can aim it to, be that from goal kicks, be it from crossing, that kind of stuff. It gives us that element of the game that we don't have usually. Even when we play Scamacca is not a big man you can really target man in that sense, especially not to the head. Scamacca can control the ball down from goal kicks and stuff, from the chest, from his feet, but he's not going to win headers in the same way that Thomas Souček is. And also from corners, and when we're getting forward, when you're crossing it in and stuff, you can aim at him then. And his movement, he has that Kevin Nolan-esque knowing where to be at the right time in and around the box. He can find good positions constantly. That is a huge benefit for us, because it means Nottingham Forest can't sit and defend super comfortably. You know, Danny Ings isn't... it's sort of almost giving Danny Ings that partner that's going to draw people away, to give people like him and Ben Rama and Bowen and Paqueta a bit more space and time on the ball. It's not working to completion. This isn't a perfect ultimate performance by any stretch of imagination. It isn't, right? But when you're looking at how we have been over the course of the season, even recently, it is significantly better, especially in that final third, than we have been elsewhere. Not perfect, but significantly better. We're still lacking that little bit of a final pass. We're still lacking from the left hand side, the crossing. Frankly, Ben Rama's crossing has just not been good enough. It just hasn't been. I don't want to be harsh about it, but I don't think any of his crosses are particularly hitting. His shots have been very tame. Control hasn't been bad, but it's not really... I don't know. Ben Rama's sort of lacked a little bit. Bowen has looked lively and has created stuff, although not maybe as much as you'd want. I think him sort of vacating that wide position, moving his way inwards, is allowing Soufal a lot of joy, and Renan Lodi has not done well against Vladimir Soufal today. He stood a little bit too far off him. It's letting us get those crosses into the box, and then Danny Ings has struggled. I mean, he's been fine for the most part, but the key moments, it's not happened for him at all. In those key moments, there was a header earlier when it comes into him and he sort of finds himself free. I don't know if he doesn't expect it or whether it's just a bit low for him, because Thomas Souček goes for it and it's a bit too high for him. He ends up bending over a little bit, but completely scuffs the header. It almost hits the corner flag. There was that chance about 5 minutes before that half ended, something like that, where he ends up giving the ball away incredibly sloppily, has to end up charging all the way back, then gives away a free kick. In that sense, he's sort of struggling. In those big moments, he's struggling. But in general, before that, I was saying his performance has been sort of okay. I think if we can just turn that screw a little bit, obviously, I think the pressure is good. I think all of that stuff's good. But if we could just turn the screw a little bit, and if a couple of people get a little bit luckier, the ball bounces a little bit kinder for them, getting a little bit of a better performance out of them, this is a game for the taking. This is 1000% a game for the taking. And I just hope we don't revert out of that 4-3-3 for the second half now. Hopefully we can maintain it on top of them. I don't know if there's any subs I would make at halftime. I'm looking at the bench now. I'm seeing Ariola, Cresswell, Kera, Emerson, Fornals, Lanzini, Downs, Scamacca, and Antonio. I don't know if there's anything I would change. I would maybe hesitate. You could potentially change Danny Ings if you want to. But I think for now, keep it as it is because it's working. If we can get back to that first half, the first sort of half an hour levels that we were at, because the first half an hour was good, actively good, then we can get on top of it. But outside of that, yeah, it is what it is. But 0-0 at halftime, I can't say I'm mad about it. Given where we have been of late, I cannot say that I'm mad about it at all, if we're being honest. If we're being honest, I'm a lot happier with that performance than I have been for a long time. But let's see what you lot are thinking about. Let's see what you lot are chatting about. mainly so I can stop talking, because I've got another 45 minutes plus of doing that. And my voice is already starting to go just a little bit. Just a little bit. Lewis is saying, I wish we tried to get a few more low crosses in with pace and stop floating them in. Sufal does this a lot. Yeah, I agree. I think when you're looking at who we have specifically in Danny Ings, for example, I think that would be more beneficial. I think by the time we end up getting into a position to cross, we're so deep and they're so far back that, you know, Thomas Souček is there. I guess floating it in is the best option. I wish we would cross that a little bit earlier. One of the things we had the last couple of years that we don't tend to do too much now, Aaron Cresswell used to do it a lot, Sufal used to do it a lot. We would cross earlier, and if you can get a bit more drive on it, a bit low into those positions, you can cause them a lot of issues. Right now, when we get to the side when we're crossing, they tend to be pretty comfortable. But I agree with that. Jack Clark is saying Souček off for Skamaka for me. We need probably some more on, says Woo. I did see Jack, mate, at some point. He's calling for Marlon Harewood as well. Big plays, get big Marlon up top. Nice, man. Had to put up with an interrogation from Gio once. That was a thing that I saw filmed. I filmed live and was like, Jesus Christ. Any old school Hams chat people might remember that. On the boats, I think it was maybe first season up at the Olympic Stadium, maybe second season. God, that was bad. God, that was bad. He's busy doing cars now, isn't he? Gary's saying, I think if we spend too much time on the ball, give it to their defence a chance to set up. We need to be faster, sharper, and more impactful passes. Yeah, I think speeding up in general would be a big thing. Speeding up in general would definitely be a good thing. Like you say, you just give them that little bit less opportunity to set up. If we are going to let them have a bit more... If they are going to get a bit more into our space and encroach into our half, as they are doing currently, then just being able to ping and go faster out of that is a big benefit, would be a big benefit. Inks presses much more than Antonio Skamaka, says Len. He's part of the reason we have the ball more. He'll come good. He has match practice rust still. Was Villa's top goal scorer until recently. Yeah, like I said, I'm certainly not at a stage of giving up on Danny Ings or anything like that. I know there's been a lot of sort of... I've seen that conversation a lot about Danny Ings recently, and seeing sort of how he has played at West Ham. What was the point in signing him? All these stuff. And I'll be honest with you, I certainly have some questions myself about why we bought him and what the plan was and how he fits into our system, because I don't think he particularly fits into any of the systems we have. However, I think there's a lot of things that could make it work, and I'm certainly far at this stage from the point of giving up on him. And like I say, I want to give him some more time. I could make the argument for subbing him off at our time, but personally, I want to see him give him more time. Yeah, it was bad. I mean, it wasn't bad. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was what it was. The 65th minute, Moyes will bring a proper curveball, Lanzini for Benny, then bring in two defenders to sit for 0-0. Yeah, a little bit. Freak on a leash is saying, Freak off his leash, pardon me, is saying Bowen is painful to watch. 50-50 today, but yeah. 50-50 today, but yeah. He's being bullied today a little bit physically, which I feel a little bit sorry for him, because he's clearly been told, the opposition have clearly been told whenever he gets on the ball to just rough him up. But yeah, it is what it is. What else can you do? Tim's saying it's like Rice not going forward has allowed to check more attacking role. I know. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Who would have thought? You know, not David Moyes, clearly. Not David Moyes, clearly. He never turns up for half times. I never ask him. I feel guilty asking him. I'll be honest with you. Gio knows to turn up so I can run away and go toilet and stop talking for 15 minutes. But I never ask Gonzo. I just feel guilty. It is what it is. It is what it is. Actually saying the transition in midfield is too slow. Rice holds onto the ball and plays soft, safe passes a lot of the time. I like Paqueta's creativity in his passes. Yeah, so do I. And there's been a lot of times where Paqueta and Fornals do this thing that, I'll be honest, others just don't do enough in his team, which is passing it first time. Passing it forward first time as well. They collect the ball and they just let it go. Bang, 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 and it speeds us up so much, and it's a lot more direct, and they just don't hang around on the ball very often, which is something I like, which is what I think Paqueta, Fornals could work in a sort of Paqueta role in his midfield three as well. I probably wouldn't want him on the wing in this formation. I feel like we need a bit more someone who's more direct on the ball, which is something we lack a little bit. I think Ben Rama's just a better option for that sort of stuff, but that's a big thing for me. I strongly agree with that. That's a big thing for me. Steve saying we can't afford to draw. This win is a must. We must go all out and get Scamacca on. I agree. I think when you're looking at opportunities like this that are this strong to get points on the board, I think you have to take them. Listen, a draw is points, but yeah, I agree. Nathan is saying Johnson is fine defensively, but needs to get Emerson on for some attacking threat in the second half. Potentially something we could look at. I think Johnson is doing really well up against other Johnson. I think that's a difficult battle, and certainly one in which you could lose very easily, and I've seen other teams lose very easily against. I think he's doing well today in that sense, and I would be concerned that if we took him up and switched him, it would change that balance a lot. But I don't think you're necessarily wrong. I think there is definitely something we could look to do in that second half, and it would have to be Emerson. I don't think Cresswell would provide that sort of attacking intent. He's sort of the balance between the two, so maybe he might be an option if he could get forward and get some of those early crosses in we were just speaking about. But I think Emerson would probably be the option. Lucky is saying Benny needs to stay on, but he needs help to draw players away from him by bringing Emerson on for Johnson, who has been there. Yeah, there you go. That's a great point, actually, to be fair. Ben Rama could potentially be more effective if he wasn't so easily doubled up against, which is definitely happening today. You can see times where he gets into that sort of corner quadrant and he's looking to try and cross it or take on a man, and there's just so many people back that it's a myth. It's a myth. It can't happen. Soam is saying many of our players are higher on endeavour but low on skill. That is the problem. Yeah, I mean, that's the Moyes MO, right? That's the Moyes MO. Get a lot of hard-working boys in there. And I don't disagree. Always need a Carlton Cole sub. I would show it, but he's wrapped up in the lines, so it'd be a bit of an issue for me. But that is the last shirt I ever owned, the last West Ham shirt I ever bought, and on the back it does have 24 Cole. Because I don't care what anyone says, he's a gosh darn legend. Paqueta and Benny off, Downs and Scamacca on, says Marty. I wouldn't necessarily be against the Benny Scamacca sub. I think taking Paqueta off would be a mistake. I think Downs in the 4-3-3 last time out was just lost. I don't like to see it because I quite like Flynn Downs, but he just seemed a bit lost. So we'll have to see how that ends up playing out. But I wouldn't necessarily be against it. I do think Paqueta will come off at some point. And I am obviously concerned about his shoulder. Let's say. Concerned about his shoulder. The inversion when it's happening with Benny and Bowen needs to be has made Neco and Renan look shaky. Yeah. I think Renan Lodi. I think Neco Williams. Maybe it's because he's up against Ben Rama, and like I say, they are able to sort of double up on him a bit more. I think Lodi's looked much more shaky than Williams. He just doesn't look like he knows what to do with Soufal at all. He's standing way too far off him. He needs to get on top of him and stop him from being able to cross the ball in. Because let's be real, Renan Lodi is faster than Vladimir Soufal. If Vladimir Soufal somehow gets a little turn of pace and jinks his way in, then sure, yeah, maybe he would be a bit more concerned, but he shouldn't be able to do that. Vladimir Soufal should not be able to do that. And I don't think Lodi's quite figured it out in that first half, so... The teams are coming out right now, so I'll let you know if there are any halftime subs. I doubt it, though. Maybe one for Nottingham Forest. I doubt we'll have any. I can hear Russ. Sorry, I've just heard the music being played at the stadium. Russ Budden once again doing a Russ Budden. He is playing Judas by Fozzy. Big ups. Big ups for Russ. He'll never see this, but shout out Russ. West Ham line coming up. I couldn't see any changes. I also noticed just how much bigger we are than them. I don't know, maybe it was just because it was like Rice and Aged and that coming out first and Souček, but they are just so big compared to the Nottingham Forest players we were working out. Got it for Moyes to go, but he stays. The board have no replacements left. Late, but Moyes stays and we are preparing for EFL. I think if we get relegated, Moyes goes instantaneously, but still. Aaron Cresswell does seem to be coming on, by the way. So foul. Okay. Interesting. So Ben Johnson will go to right back and Aaron Cresswell will step up into that left back slot. Interesting. Don't know how I feel about it, but I'm interested. Anyway, the second half is about to get underway, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be live, of course, throughout the entire half. So make sure to stick around if you want to. If not, make sure to come back at full time because Gonzo will be live straight after the game with a full-time review. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe, hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos because we do stuff all the time. And, of course, do watch-alongs, provide stuff that you might want every single game. But it's back underway at the London Stadium. Come on, you Irons. Let's go. It's time to run two things. Let's make it happen. It is a... West Ham to kick off. Big positive start going straight for them. Lucas Paqueta bouncing the ball over the top, looking for Ben Johnson down at the right-hand side, who wins a corner. We're looking like we've started where we ended in that second half. Corner for West Ham United. Well, I know Russ likes wrestling. Me and Russ have had many conversations about wrestling. I will say that, and I know Russ knows his stuff. And I know there has always been positive responses to when wrestling stuff has been played at West Ham. So I suspect that's why Russ does it. Also, if we're being honest, Judas by Fozzy is just a banger. I didn't like it before. Before AEW happened, I didn't like it, but now I listen to it a lot. I like it. Still, corner to West Ham. It's going to be on the right-hand side. Jared Bowen to take it. Vladimir Suchek just pushing Felipe, and he gets his head onto it. Near post, just over, but he pushes Felipe out the way, manages to get a bit of space in there, nods it, but straight over. Harry is calling for a bell. Everyone I've ever known to push them all away. I have been a slave to the Judas in my mind. I'll tell you what, I'm going to try and go to the AEW show when they're coming to the UK this year. I'm coming to London at some point this year. And I'm hyped to scream that song at the top of my lungs. I'm really annoyed I didn't get tickets for bloody Money in the Bank or SmackDown. I'm hoping when they start releasing the single tickets, I can get some. But I flipping flopped on the pre-sale and got there like ever so slightly late. And by the time I got there, it was bloody 700, 800 quid or something for a ticket for both. They were the only ones that were left for ticket for both shows. So. Hopefully, when they release the single tickets, I'll be able to get tickets for SmackDown and or Money in the Bank at the O2. But I'll be on the AEW one. No chance I'm missing that. Good defending from West Ham. Hopefully the switch to bring nice play down the line there. Ben Johnson getting forward up against Renan Lodi. Hopefully he gets it's another corner. It's yet another corner. It might be a throw, but it's hopefully one of those things where. It adds us a bit of balance, getting a left footer on at left back, right footer on at right back, giving us a bit more balance, getting us a little bit further forward and crossing. Tactical change from David Moyes early. There have been enough calls, by the way, for the bell pole, so I'll be putting that in. There have been a tactical change at half time from David Moyes. Again, something he doesn't tend to do too much, so I'm quite happy about that. But what I would say is I would have probably kept Sufal on as opposed to Ben Johnson. I'm interested why that happened specifically. However, I can't complain too much about it. We'll have until 50 minutes on the clock to get your vote counted in the bell poll. I think in general, Harry, I was really happy with the first half. I think the first half an hour of it was really good. I thought we were brilliant. Not brilliant, but I thought we were really good. We were on top. We were putting them under horrendous amounts of pressure. We had corner after corner after corner. We just lacked that little final piece, that little final pass to make it happen. But we were really on top of them. The 15 minutes before half time sort of died down a little bit. We were still the better team, but died down a little bit. But overall, I was happy with it. I also saw, I'm trying to find it. I can't find the comment now. The comments keep skipping. I can't see it. I did see someone ask if I watch OSW review. Homer Simpson, you fucking animal. Yeah, I do. I haven't seen them all. I watched them all religiously for the first long time. And then sort of since 2019, 18, I'm a little bit far behind. I still watch them when I can. I just haven't watched them as much, but I do love a bit of OSW. I'll tell you that much. What bar is Nottingham Forest? The yellow and blue? Can't think of one off the top of my head. Out wide to Neco Williams on the right hand side, looking to try and cross it in. Nathan Agard does well. Nathan Agard does well. There you go. That's who it was. Okay, cool. So It's a good ball in from Williams, and a guard does well to just stop that one from going in. But it's dangerous moments. Nottingham Forest doing well since the start, since our corner in the first 12 seconds or whatever the heck it was. Doing well. It's going to be a goal kick to West Ham. We'll take that. A little bit disappointing from the end. I mean, so far so good in general. Again, second half we start. Oh, Aaron Cresswell, Jesus Christ, that was awful. That was woeful. Brennan Johnson trying to get his way in, and Declan Rice does well to just stand in front of him and stop him from getting forward there. But a lot of pressure from Nottingham Forest puts us in an awkward situation where we give away a throw-in. That's kind of pathetic from us passing-wise there. That was awful. What the hell were we doing there? I don't know what the... Okay, whatever. But a little bit of pressure forces them all the way back into the halfway line and a bit further back. That's an awful first touch from them. We almost managed to sneak in there. We need to step up a little bit. Need to step up, wake up a little bit. Ooh, shot from range, just wide from Williams, nowhere near the goal. Fabianski very happy to just see that. Very happy to just see that one go wide. They're trying to work their way in from that side, and I'll be honest, Ben Rama does really poorly. Really poorly. I'd consider taking him off. I would consider taking him off a little bit, I'm not going to lie. I think he has a lot of good things, but he's just flat to deceive a lot today. Just flat to deceive a lot. Just realised that the time has passed. Let's see the thing. 69% of people said yes on the bell, so I will be grabbing that in a second. Right now, Ben Rama is on the ball. He skips past one. He wins a corner round. I'm going to run now. While I'm there, while I'm running and getting it. Oh, my hair. While I'm running and getting it, Danny will entertain you. Danny will entertain you. 1 second. Been a slave to the Judas in my mind. Is there something left for me to say in the wreckage of my life? My life. I don't think it went very well. I saw a goalkeeper, and thankfully I didn't miss anything, but it didn't seem to go very well from us that corner. But the bell is here, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the way. Let's get it going. I realised it's a minute late, but there we go. It is what it is. Trying to check my timers, and the timer seems to be vaguely in check. Vaguely in check. The silent snack is in. Let's go. I'm becoming. Judas in my mind. Do you know what? I'm just gonna go a bit first, you know? Because I feel like I've just been lobbing it in recently, which is fine. But today I'm gonna be a bit more controlled, maybe. Maybe that'll work. Who knows? I'll look at the chat. Post. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's them hitting the post or us hitting the post. I'm so far behind. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. This is very exciting for me. Played up wide to Aaron Cresswell on the left. Finds Ben Rama. Kent Williams just feels like he has the better of him here. Lofted across to Ben Johnson. Oh, good pressure from West Ham against Felipe's at the back. Played in. Ben Rama can't quite turn around and play the ball in at all. Ends up walking his way outwards. Tries to dink it back across. Can't quite make it work. Laid back to Ben Johnson on the edge of the right-hand side. Whipped in over the top of everyone. Oh, Danny Ings does well to try and keep that down, but can't find anyone. He did well, though, to be fair. It's going to go back. It's going to go back all the way to West Ham's defence. Nice link-up play between Paqueta and Ings there. Ben Rama's in a much more central role. Finds Bowen, hits it. It's Bowen who hit the post. That's how far behind I am. It's Bowen that hit the post. If you ever wondered how far behind I am, it was then. It was played forward into Jarrod Bowen, who hits it with his weak foot. I tell you what, I never would have backed him doing it, but he did well. He did well. Quick throw in. Shot. Just over. Shot from Lucas Paqueta just flashed over. Close. Close. Jarrod Bowen controls it down from the throw in, lays it off to Paqueta with his strong foot, just opens up. Goes for a sort of inside foot curler. Looking for that top corner, just tries to place it and it hits the stanchion. Flipping close. Great hit from Bowen. I tell you what, I'm never really confident when he hits it with his weak foot. I think it's kind of pointless, and he probably shoots. It's weird. He shoots in awkward positions, Jarrod Bowen. A lot of the time when he shoots, I feel like it's in positions he shouldn't be shooting from, and that was one of those ones. But he hit it really well. It was past Navas as well. Hits the base of the post and just comes straight back out again. Bloody hell! Am I watching last? Last week's game. Yeah, I'm watching Tottenham? Who did we face last? Was it Tottenham? Oh, I don't know. Time's a flat circle. I don't understand what's going on most of the time. Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey and all that. Got no clue. Must have been Tottenham. Oh, I don't know. Hooked forward. Ogbonna does well just to header that one. Oh, he doesn't really, does he? I was going to say it was a little bit awkward for him to header it, but it looked like he sort of managed to direct it towards Cresswell, but it did not. It went straight out for a throw. It's starting to feel a little bit like that, Miles. It's starting to feel a little bit like that. Yeah, true. But I mean, probably. But I mean, it's been that way for a while, right, Sarah? Sarah's saying, by the way, if we lose Aged or Paqueta for long-term injury or we completely finish the season, Aged would be a huge loss. I think Paqueta would be a big loss as well, but potentially not as much as Aged. Oh, bloody hell, I've got hiccups now because that baby bell. You know. Williams lays it short. Bit of passing around from Nottingham Forest. Cole back, who I can't believe is back in the Premier League somehow. Spreading the ball around. Yes, we might both be very close, yet somehow, so far. You know, it happens that way. You know what it's like, the North Idaho TV network. You know how it goes. Sometimes it's, you know. You've upgraded us, C. Richards. You've gone from what can only be described as disappointing through me. Gonzo Shelvey unnecessarily starting a fight with Thomas Souček, which Souček is a very mild-mannered man. I would not start with him. He's big. I mean, if anyone's going to start him, it would be Gonzo Shelvey. You've upgraded from me to Tony Gale. Congratulations. I respect it. I would highly impress. I wish. It's just water, Thomas. I wish it was, though. Sometimes I wish I took up alcohol. Do you know what I mean? Usually, specifically when I'm watching West Ham. But, you know, it is what it is. Good chase down from Thomas Souček, just stopping Felipe from being able to clear it comfortably. Second time, he just sort of punts it aimlessly up the field. Ogbonna nods it back towards them sort of aimlessly as well. He should have got the control and sort of started a bit more controlled possession as opposed to... I mean, to be fair, he's not Paqueta. I don't think Ogbonna would be able to control that down first time in that same way. He can header it away first time, but still, it sort of led to a good Nottingham Forest chance, although the ball from Gonzo Shelvey into the path of Chris Woods was easily cut out. And Declan Rice just sort of punts it forward. It's stupid. All Danny Ings can always get in. Keylor Navas, flipping heck, comes out and just sort of boots it. It was a very scary moment from Keylor Navas' perspective. The adrenaline was high, and West Ham have possession of the ball. Paqueta, nice idea, Ben Rama can't quite get the control. It was a bit high for him, but Oh, that's a smart ball in round the back for Brennan Johnson. The other Johnson cuts his way inside, tries to fight. That's exactly what I was talking about. If you get a bit too adventurous down that side, you can just let Brennan Johnson get in round the back, and it's not something you want. The ball comes forward, and he has so much space because Aaron Cresswell's gone forward, and he's vacated the entire pitch to Brennan Johnson, who comes in, beats Ogbonna not comfortably, has to take a shot, snatches at it early because he wants to take it before Declan Rice gets there, and it was an awful touch in the end and an awful shot. It's well defended in the end, but that's that sort of thing I was talking about. That's why maybe Ben Johnson was the correct... I'm going to get confused. That's why our Johnson was the correct option, I think, to go up against their Johnson, despite the fact he was playing on the wrong side. That little bit less adventurous, a little bit stronger defensively allows you to have just a bit more be a bit more comfortable in defence as opposed to what we were just there. Even if it sort of delays you a little bit going forward, and then maybe you take off Ben Rama. But it's a nice run there from Ben Rama down the left-hand side. Tries to pull it back. Can't quite find anyone. Ings is there. The North Idaho TV network decides this is the moment that it needs to have a little think about life. We're going to give it a little... thing. Apparently nothing happened, but we're still on possession of the ball. We'll take that. Paqueta's on it. Trying to find his way forward. Oh, nice idea for a reverse pass. Couldn't quite find it. It was a nice idea. I would take off Ben Rama at this point. He was just completely in the way of Danny Ings as well. I'd probably take him off. Ogbonna's decided he's letting this ball run. It took a while. Some sweet, crisp, quick passing between Rice and Paqueta and that. Paqueta trying to hook that ball forward. Can't quite find it in. West Ham again cutting out the passing lanes well, forcing them to make really awkward passes. They've managed to keep control of that well, though, Nottingham Forest, despite that. And now they're going down the left-hand side. It's Renan Loddy. He's got Gibbs White ahead of him. He can't quite anyway. He just sort of hits it. No free kicks as the referee. Big calls for a handball for a penalty. It doesn't quite work out. Gibbs White tries to play it in. I tell you what, he's been very quiet today. He's been playing well recently as well, and he's been very quiet today. Their change of formation has worked for us, and we've done well. It's kept them relatively quiet. Him relatively quiet as well. Picks up the ball again here, looking to stride his way forward. Can't quite find anyone. Finds Jack Cole back instead. Can't quite find a space. And he goes for a shot from range. Declan Rice easily getting the block there. Paqueta under pressure from Gonzo Shelvey. Gonzo Shelvey leaning so far into him. So far into him. Yeah, Loddy, I mean, don't get me wrong, Loddy's shot definitely hits Ben Johnson on the hand, but his hand is by his side. There's not really much to be said there. Johnson again under pressure from Gibbs White. I don't know about that sub, man. It just makes me feel... I feel really shaky about that switch at half time between bringing on Cresswell. It's just made it really shaky for me, and now... Nottingham Forest are doing really well in this period. They've stepped up several gears. I think that it's been a lot faster right now, but they've stepped up several gears. And they're putting us under pressure, but I think there's space. I think it feels like there's a goal coming. It's just who's going to be the ones to take it. Nottingham Forest have got into good positions and have sort of made some stuff happen that they weren't really doing too much in that first half. They're finding Gibbs White, which again, they weren't really doing in that first half. They're finding space behind Cresswell on that left-hand side, which again, they weren't really doing in that first half, but they are stretching themselves. The problem is when we're in and around them, we're sort of covering the passing lanes relatively well, but they've managed to play out of it decently, consistently as well. They've managed to play out of it consistently as well. It's just a question about whether or not they can. It's a question about whether or not we can take those opportunities and make the most of them. And at this point, I don't really feel like we are. We're not really trying to win the ball back. We're just cutting down those passing lanes and hoping they boot it forward. And first half, that was working for us, but in this half, it hasn't right now. I think we need some subs. I'm seeing a lot of you talking about subs as well. Louisa, are there any subs warming up? I don't see any. I don't see any yet. At the bottom of the screen, I can't see any. I think it is time for subs. Big ball in from Nottingham Forest. Thankfully, Fabianski collects it very comfortably. Well, I say comfortably. He looks injured. There wasn't anything in the way of pressure against him. It wasn't difficult, but Ball gets lofted in from Gonzo Shelvey. Little bit awkward. It was Felipe. I think he just Aged and Rice just sort of leave that one to go. And yes, I was going to say Skamaka. Fabianski's just his head connects very solidly with the knee of Felipe. There certainly wasn't anything wrong with it. He was completely fine going for it, and Fabianski collects it. But Areola is on the bench, and I would suspect he could come on. Andre Ayew, returning to the London Stadium, this time for the opposition, is about to come on for Nottingham Forest. Another person that's insane. Areola is out warming up. There are a couple of other people I can see warming up. I couldn't tell who they were because the camera's following Areola close. So it's just... Let's see. No, it's cut away too soon. Areola may be about to come on. It's a head injury as well for Fabianski. He did not look comfortable when he went down at all. I mean, if you're looking at their subs, they certainly have the ones where it's you've got the scare factor, right? You've got Areola, as D is just brought up here. You've got Jesse Lingard. If there are players which superstition would suggest would definitely score against us after coming on in a 0-0 to do it, it is Ayew and Lingard. Ayew is the one who's going to come on first time. He looked okay when I've only seen him play once for Nottingham Forest, but he looked okay in that game. Be interested to see who he comes on for. I would suspect maybe you could take off a centre mid, or you could take off Gibbs White. Yeah, he's taken off Gonzo Shelvey. Which makes sense because Gonzo Shelvey was definitely on for a red. Not a year red, but he was definitely going to start getting cards soon. Lots of boos going around for Gonzo Shelvey. Supposedly a West Ham fan, isn't he? I don't know if he is or he isn't. I mean, we were linked to him for ages. Or is his family from West Ham or something? So I don't know. Something goes on with Gonzo Shelvey. But here comes Andre Ayew in his place. I'm not entirely shocked. I think they will go to a sort of 4-2-3-1 style system. 4-4-1-1 type thing. It's been a long time to check Fabianski. Obviously, when it's a head injury, you have to take your time with it. But there has been a long, long old wait. At this point, I would almost make the Areola sub just to be careful. Because I feel like if you keep on a goalkeeper who's just received an absolute wallop around the head and a head injury, like other players, there's slight less risk to it. But with a goalkeeper, no, you've got to do it. And so I feel like personally, I would probably make... I don't know how you feel, but I would probably make the... It's one of those things where I guess it's 50-50, but I would probably make the Areola sub anyway. It looks like he's coming on. Yeah, he's just taken off his shirt. He's just taken off his jacket, and he's got number 13 on. Areola will be coming off. Makes sense. It reminded me a little bit of the Czech injury, the one which Czech got against... Was it Reading? That original one, which meant he ended up having the helmet on for ages. Jesus, look at that black eye. Flipping heck. He has been left with a massive shiner on his left eye. My God, that's bad. Jesus. Yeah, he probably should come off then. He probably should. I hadn't seen that until now. He probably should. Thankfully, we've got a really good goalkeeper on the bench in Areola, so that's fine. A goalkeeper that some people would prefer to start anyway, so I think it's not that much of a deepness. Obviously, I hope Fabianski's right, because like I said, it reminded me a bit of that Czech injury where he had the head thing originally, where he got sort of like, he went down to grab the ball and then the knee hit on the top of his head. It reminded me a bit of that. Because, yeah, Fabianski just looks not comfortable at all. Checking the time here, the time's still in the right. He's not looking comfortable at all. He's like blinking a lot of really heavy blinks. So Areola coming on. And hopefully he does all right. He's good in a lot of ways, Areola. And I prefer him a lot as a long-term option for West Ham. So this could be a really good opportunity for him. As much as you don't want what just happened to Fabianski to happen, this could be a really good opportunity for him to sort of stake his claim as first choice. Long free kick. Long goal kick taken. Bouncing around at the moment in the midfield. Declan Rice does well there under some pressure. He almost did a massive Jarrod Bowen where he picks up the ball, runs in the opposite direction for 40 yards and then does nothing with it. Ooh, nice crossfield diag by Danny Ings there. You love to see it. Jarrod Bowen cuts his way inside, pulls it in. Danny Ings is there. Oh my God, it's gone in. It's gone in. I was going to say, was it offside? I'm seeing the word onside. Oh my God, I will take that. I will take that all day. Danny Ings gets the goal. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my God. Okay, I'm seeing the word 2-0. I'm really far behind if there's been 2 goals. Danny Ings has scored. We'll find out what's happening with that in a second. Danny Ings has scored. I think it might be onside then if you're saying 2 because he's just... he does really well. The crossfield diag is absolutely beautiful. He collects it deep. He pings it across to Jarrod Bowen, who cuts his way inside. Does nice to take it past 1, takes it past 2. He does look onside as well. And he's just in the right place, just in behind the 2 centre-backs. In behind, well, it's not even in behind the 2 centre-backs. He's in behind the centre-back and the right-back. Finds in really nice space. And it's just balls played just behind him as well. He manages to stretch backwards, hit it and flick it up into that top corner. I guess I'll find out what the hell you're talking about in a second. Because I just saw it as I was trying to see if you lot were saying it was onside or not. Because I was a bit concerned it was off. But Danny Ings scores and it's 1-0 confirmed. I don't want to check the chat because I've obviously just seen... someone said 2-0, so they might have scored again, or maybe that was just saying that we could go on and win 2-0. I don't know. Looking at the VAR, he does look onside to me. He looked onside in the game as it was going. Oh, we've got a little look at that. We've got a little square of the VAR officials discussing it now. What a job that is, by the way. Just get to sit and have a little discussion about stuff. He is onside. Come on, Danny. First goal. Let's go. And they don't look like scoring. The thing is, they do not look like scoring at all. Like, they've put us under some pressure in the second half, and they've been better in the second half than they were in the first. But even then, they've looked nowhere close enough to scoring. So I'll be taking that all day. Ogbonna headers it back forward. I'm sort of expecting something to happen then, because I saw 2-0. Now, I don't know whether or not you were saying you could win 2-0, or whether we scored again. Paqueta does well, finds Ben Rama. Danny Ings is there. Ings gets a second in incredibly quick succession, and both a little bit scuffed and, whatever as you want to like. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, 2-0. This game is done. I suspect it will have to go to VAR again. I don't know whether there was a hint of offside there. I think it was probably pulled back, so there probably isn't. But 2-0, there you go. Come on. Paqueta flicks the ball over his defender. I think it's Williams. Battles with him. Then lays it off to Ben Rama, who does well to take it past 2. And before driving across, he's onside, as you like, from Danny Ings. And just managed to scramble it in. Ben Rama, it's really the only thing he's done all day. Plays it in. It might even hit off Renan Lodi last, I'm not even sure if it hits him or if it hits... I'm not even sure whether it hits Danny Ings last or whether it hits... Renan Lodi last. Danny Ings is in absolute dream. It's Gio. Gio's gone and his boys scored 2. Gio at the game, and all of a sudden, Annie, you okay? Yeah, I'm scoring 2 goals. Danny Ings, let's go. This game, we've won this game now. I'm so very confident at this point that we've won this game. I could do if I found one. I clicked on a bunch, I'll be honest with you. So I changed channels a bunch, but I couldn't find any that were working consistently that were better than this. None of them were working properly. I can have a little click around, I guess, but at this point it's fine. But yeah, to pull the curtain back, basically what I do is I click on like 10 and then load them all and then just see which one's working the fastest, which one's actually working, stuff like that. And this was the only one that was consistent, so. Oh, man. 2 goals for Danny Ings. Like I said, I don't know whether that second one will end up on the record books as a Danny Ings goal. But really nicely worked. Paqueta flick over the top, lays it into Benrahma, takes it past to the only thing Benrahma's really successfully done all game as well. Pulls it back. He's caused a few problems in that realm where he's managed to sort of get into some nice positions and then potentially pull it back. Doesn't quite manage it, but that time he does. And Danny Ings is there to sort of scramble, and it is a big old scramble into the box. Again on replays, and maybe after the game it'll end up being a Renan Lodi own goal because it looked like he was close to bundling it in himself. But my God, 2-0, ladies and gentlemen. 2-0. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Areola hugely up the pitch. We'll be taking that, ladies and gentlemen, all the way to the bank. Do you know what I mean? We'll be gobbling that one up. Thank you very much. You know what I mean? All ours. All ours. And like I said, did he say never scored a career hat-trick? Did I just hear that right? Is today the day? Is today the day? I feel like I said, I just don't think they were going to be anywhere close to scoring. If I'm being honest, I've not been that concerned about them scoring. It's just been about whether or not we could actually put the ball in the net. And so the second we got one, I was like, cool, I'm pretty confident that this is going to be... The wave of confidence hit me. Like, this is fine. We've got this now. Because they're going to have to really do something to score against us that they haven't been able to do. At 2, it's done, in it. They ain't scoring 2. They are not scoring 2 against us today. Look, maybe I'm wrong, but I can't see it happening. I can't see it happening at all. Look at that. Andre Ayew came on and we scored 2. We shouldn't have sold him. That's clearly the problem we've had all season. If we just kept Andre Ayew this entire time, maybe we'd be scoring more goals. The second he enters the pitch at London Stadium, it happens. Jesse Lingard about to come on. The reception from the crowd about as positive as you would have expected. Alongside Toffolo at the same time. They're both coming on. The North Idaho TV network is struggling. You'd love to see it. Could click around a couple of others to see if any of them are working. Yeah, I like the fact when Jesse Lingard was about to come on there, the boos were significant and solid. Do you know what I mean? Significant and solid. Where are we at time? Okay, that's about fun. It's a second behind, but that's fine. Yeah, I don't know who came off. I think it might have been... I don't know. I was trying to figure it out by the numbers, but North Idaho TV network is in a different language today. So who knows? Who knows? Benrahma on the left, couple of little step overs, lays it short to Declan Rice. Look. Look. All right, look. It's 3 for a start. I've said it consistently for a long time. I hate it when Declan Rice shoots from those exact sort of positions because the chance of him scoring is so little. He picks up the ball, he drives it forward, he lays it off to Benrahma, who allows him to just have a little bit of space. So when he receives the ball, he has time to really pick and choose his spot. He just lets it open and he bends it right into the top corner. What? Oh my God. See, he basically passed it in. If he did that more often and just Snapchat it like he usually does, it'd be fine. It was Renan Lodi that came off for Nottingham Forest. 3-0. 3-0. A double from Danny Ings and a perler from Declan Rice. 2 assists from Ben. That's fair as well. Yeah, 2 assists from Benrahma. It wouldn't have happened. I said he should have come off. And all of a sudden he's decided he's an absolute world beater. 2. I think I've just seen Antonio come out. Please don't take Danny Ings off. Allow him to try and get a hat trick. Not that I think it will count. I'm slightly concerned that second one will be an own goal. But don't take him off. Let him try and get a hat trick. Oh my God. 3. I'll tell you what. I had some confidence before this game. I said I felt like there was something for us. I said I felt like there's something for us, that we could have gone on and done something. It was the right formation, the right people. There was a lot to like about this. And I said 2-1. And I felt like when I said 2-1, even then there was part of me that was like, am I being too ambitious with 2-1? 3-0 is currently a scoreline. 10 minutes to go. 10 minutes to go. That's rare. This is Mark Watson. Not a Reb Day reference, although I've made it one. If anyone watches some lovely board games. I'm going to see if I can get a better North Idaho while I wait. While this decides to fail. The answer so far is no. Should we get 4? Should we just go and get 4? Should we get a 4th? We could get a 4th real quick, right? Just get 4 real quick, you know? There you go. There we go. I'm further forward now. So if we do score 4, I might be able to see it before it happens. Who knows? We're about a minute faster than we were. We take that. 17-0. Yeah, why not? Why not? Go for 6. It is the dreaded 3. I can't act like Taz that didn't come into my head instantaneously. I can't act like my brain didn't go, oh no, we're 3-0 up. I can't act like the last couple of years haven't scarred me mentally like that. Okay, we're going to make a triple sub. A triple sub. Manuel Lanzini, who's got new hair. New hair for Manuel Lanzini. He's going to come on for Lucas Paqueta. We take that. Next up, Ben Rama coming off. Pablo Fornal's coming on. Makes sense. Defensively, makes sense. Now, who's Antonio going to come on for? He's taken off Danny Ings. He's taken him off. What a spoil sport. He's taken him off. Look, it is what it is. Yeah. Defensively, it's probably the right decision. Fine, fair enough. You bring on the forward who's more defensively sound, right? Mikel Antonio, who's worked in the system, knows what he's doing. We look like we're going a bit more traditional. You've got Pablo Fornals, who's a bit more defensive and all that. You get it. I understand it. It's fine. I'm a bit disappointed that Danny Ings can't get his hat-trick now. I can't act like I'm not, but fair enough. Triple sub. Ings off Antonio, Lanzini on for Paqueta, and Fornals on for Ben Rama. Makes sense. Oh, nice first time pass there from Manuel Lanzini. Bit of a sport though. Would have preferred the hat trick, but you know what can you do? But getting picky now. I'm getting a bit too above myself. Oh, nice 1-2 with Ben Johnson and Bowen. Doesn't quite work out. I'm interested to see if Lanzini means that Souček might not get as far forward. I hope he doesn't. I hope he continues to get as far forward as he possibly can. Oh, that is a nice ball round the back for Jarrod Bowen. He's there, dinks it across over the top of Antonio. Hopefully Lanzini can sort of fill that role that Paqueta was just doing. Oh, Pablo Fornals first time does really well, but dinks it back across far post Antonio. Come on, it's 4. Wait, let me... Oh. Look at that. Moist subs. A triple sub. And I think at least 2 of them. One got the assist and one got the goal. My God, I can't believe it. I'm in disbelief. 4. Well, you know it's a crazy day when not only are we winning 4-0, but Mikel Antonio scoring a header. Listen, okay? Look. Mikel Antonio hasn't scored a header since potentially the Middle Ages, it feels like at this point. And somehow, my man has just come on and scored a bloody header. And Toffolo, who's come on for Lodi, who I thought hadn't been very good today, has just been absolutely bullied by him. Scenes. God, and I called him the defensive striker. He's just come on and scored instantaneously. Johnson's come off for Sturridge in the meantime, by the way, for Nottingham Forest. Well, there you go. Cheers, Nottingham Forest. Thanks for coming. This is what happened. It's the payback from that first game when we should have beat them and we didn't. When we should have won and we didn't. You know, that's what this is. I think that's what this is. Listen, gents. I'm not complaining at all, mate. I'm not complaining any way, shape, or form. Did he score a header 2 weeks ago? Did he? Mad. I don't know. I don't know what to do with myself, Judas. I go Burger King. Hughes, thank you very much for the $10 into the full-time fund. That's very kind of you, sir. You don't need to do that at all. Good for the club and great for us fans to be good for the channel too. Thanks. Thank you. It's very kind of you. I mean, listen, it's been a long old season. Having a random day where we apparently just turn up like a sunny day in Norwich again. Oof, Jared Bowen shot from range to flex. It's a beautiful thing. And thank you very much for the $10 into the full-time fund. That's very, very kind of you. You did not need to do that whatsoever. I'll get your name in the bar right now. This is wild. Where has this come from? I mean, I felt like we've been, like I said, I felt like we've been the better team in that first half. And if we'd scored maybe the chances that we should have in the first half, maybe it would have been a bit easier. But it's gone to VAR for a penalty, by the way. It's gone to VAR for the penalty. Jared Bowen's shot. Nah, not a pen for me. It does hit. I think it hits Felipe potentially in the hand, but not a pen for me. Thank you very much, Hughes, for the $10 into full-time fund. It's very kind of you, sir. It's very kind of you indeed. Whipped into the box from the corner. Down. Oh, another bit of bouncing about. Another bit of bouncing about. Yeah, I didn't think it. Personally, I didn't think it was. Like it is, like it hits. I think it hits his hand, but it's not one of those ones where, like, it's not one of those ones where, GP, good to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Ben Johnson going for a shot from range. Usually would be the most annoying thing in the world there, but screw it. At this point, whatever, mate. Bring up the Cathedral City, fella. Just a whole wedge. Do you know what I mean? The bell. Listen, we ate a bell, and all of a sudden we're 4-0 up. Now, I don't know about the timings of the situation, but we ate a bell, and then we scored 4 goals. Do you know what I mean? Every time I think about it, and I think, do you know what? Maybe it isn't working anymore. Maybe the luck has gone. Maybe the vibes have left us this season. It just feels like maybe that has happened. Bruv, we ate a bell. We scored. 4, not 5. 4. Am I wrong? I do want to try cheese string one day, but I just want to get cheese string and eat it. I think that's what it is. I just want cheese string. Playing to keep moist, possibly players like him, despite not being happy with tactics. I think he's just to rise and have a pop. I think look, the tactics have worked for us today. I think there will be a big long debrief of this. I'm gonna sneeze. Bless me. I think the tactics have worked today. I think there's going to be a big long debrief in the week. We're going to talk about it at length, and there'll be videos galore. There'll be the review straight after this with Gonzo, so stick around because we'll be doing that in a minute. When the match is over, we'll be getting straight on top of that. But there will be nice 1-2. Pablo Fornals just showing that direct, quick first time passing I was talking about to Declan Rice as they charge forward down the left hand side. Lays it off once again to Pablo Fornals. Not a great position to cross it for him. Lays it back instead to Rice. He's going to try. Don't shoot. He doesn't. Good. I mean, today again with Ben Johnson doing it for scripts, do it today. Who cares? We're 4-0 up. Let's have some fun. But you know, off to Cresswell, can't quite do anything. There'll be a big long debrief about, you know, the 7 minutes at a time. Oh yeah, Fabianski, right? There'll be a big long debrief. Areola came on, then we scored 4. And we'll have long discussions about what went well today, what didn't. But I think one of the big things is tactics for me. I think the 4-3-3 has definitely worked, and I think it's a big thing that, you know, I think we could read too much into it, saying Declan Rice criticised the tactics somewhat about not being attacking enough, basically, and then we changed the tactics to be more attacking. I think we could potentially read too much into that, but I don't think it's. I certainly don't think it's a massive coincidence. I think we've been good. The 4 has been a bit insane, trying to work their way into the box. Nottingham Forest, Andre Ayew trying to bully his way in, can't quite manage it. Just an absolute just mound of humanity ahead of him. We have gone fully David Moyes tactics in terms of defensive. We are just sitting deep, and we've got Mikel Antonio to ping it to, which I'm sort of fine. But I do think the 4-3-3 has worked. And I think what's really good now, specifically, is we seem to have 2 formations that are working. The 4-3-3 made sense today. Like I said, I'm glad we changed it up for the opposition because it made sense against Nottingham Forest. And I'm glad that we put the right people in. Everything felt good about the selection at the beginning of the game. And the first half, I think, proved to be that, right? The one concern was that we were changing from a 3 at the back formation that seemed to have been sort of working recently. I think what we see today is now that we have potentially 2 different options, and realistically, neither of them are the 4-2-3-1 that David Moyes usually likes to play. So the fact that we've got 2 formations potentially now with 2 different setups that are 2 completely different things, different teams that we can switch to maybe change to sort of put a little bit on teams and do stuff when we need to. I'm really happy about that. Really, really happy about that. I know, Gary. It's wild, isn't it? It's wild, guys. Who would have known? Who would have known that we could have done it all along? Not me. Not me. Not me. Major, if you're still there, I need to this fried baby. I need to try it. Baby bell and ham sounds beautiful. Do you know what I mean? Bit of Parma ham. Sounds wonderful. Sounds wonderful. Does anyone know what the other scores are, by the way? I want to know. So I need to. What were the matches specifically? Because I never look at opposition scores, but at this point it's 4-0 up, and I feel relatively calm, so I could just look up the scores myself. I went to the BBC because I thought, oh, they'll have it. It's still saying West Ham 0, Nottingham Forest 0 in half time, so that's gone well, clearly. Sorry, is the internet down? What's going on? Oh, Everton losing 2-0. Arsenal are up 1-0. Big. Oh, Leeds are winning as well against Southampton. Good. I want Leeds to win, so I'll take that. Arsenal 1-0 versus Leicester. Yeah. Leeds winning. Good. It's working out for us today. I never ever look at opposition results because I think, to be honest with you just got to concentrate on yourself, and if you do what you need to do, then you know it's fine. But yeah, it's good. It's good. Poor pass straight into the foot of Pablo Fornals, finds Declan Rice. He's got Mikel Antonio ahead of him, can't quite find him. Just a bit of a pull there. I'm very happy. If Leeds get a win, we get a win. And Villa get a win. That's good times for us. That's very good times. Leicester drag them a bit more into it if Arsenal get the win as well. Not that matters too deep, but yeah, it probably does. But yeah, if Villa and Leeds get a win, I know Leeds are a thing, but I want Leeds to stay up. I like Leeds. I want Leeds to stay up. I like Leeds a lot. I like a lot of things to do with Leeds as well. And we're not just talking about the disabled team in Stuart. We're talking about just I like a lot of their players. So if you ask me, one of the ones I want to stay up, it'd also be Leeds. And Southampton are a bigger. Southampton, we need to confirm one. We need to make one less space. If Southampton, like, I see your argument, Lee. I see your argument. Although, with Southampton's win the other week against City, I was a bit more concerned about it, especially changing managers and that. So I think just consigning them means one less team, one less space of going down. That's what I want to keep happening. But I to be fair, your logic is not unfair. That's not a bad shout. Do you know what I do? I always squish them. That's the problem. I always sort of end up squishing them into like a little waxy ball. So it probably would have just been a giant waxy ball. You know? Just a weird giant waxy ball. Oh no, he does, trust me. I don't. He does. Trust me, he does. Every time I beat the games with him. Wild. 1 minute left on the timer, which means it's now time to pick man of the match. Whoever you let me know who you think the man of the match should be in the chat. I'll scroll through and sort of look at who gets how many and that, and sort of vibe who is the winner. There's no science here. This is all about vibes, okay? But let me know who you think the man of the match is, and whoever gets the most amount of votes will win the Hammers Chat Man of the Match award. I can see from the chat it's full time as well. So let me know very quickly who you want the man of the match to be. While we have just under about 30 seconds left, while you get that on, I will remind you to like the video because it helps us out massively, and subscribe if you're new around here, because we do watch alongs and provide all of the things you might need for a match day, every single match day without fail. We are here, build up, watch along, and then of course the review straight after, as long as plenty of other videos are out of the week, one a day, sometimes more. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell notifications button so you don't miss out on any future videos. Full-time Whistle is coming in just a moment. Make sure to stick around though, because Gonzo will be live with his review in just a few minutes. There is the final whistle. West Ham United 4, Nottingham Forest 0. I might watch Match of the Day tonight. Let's see what's going on. But let's have a look at some of these man of the matches very quickly before Gonzo goes live. What a winning yes, come on. Ings, Rice, Ings, Ogbonna, Ings, Benny, Benrahma, Rice, Annie Dings, Moyes, Dings, Ings, Benny, Ings, Benrahma. I know, it's weird, Richard. I feel all joyous. I feel all joyous and vibey. What a time to be alive. Rice, Areola, Ings, Rice. I think it is Danny Ings. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it, Dave. I'll give it to Danny Ings. Congratulations on Danny Ings on winning your first ever Hammers Chat Man of the Match awards for a double Danny Ings goal. A quick 14-minute blitz gives West Ham a 4-0 victory up against Nottingham Forest. You love to see it. What a result. What a result. And thank you especially as well, before we go, to Stephen, to Dave, to Tristan, and to Hughes for their contributions into the full-time fund. That's incredibly kind of you. Come on, subscribe to SCW, best wrestling channel on YouTube. I love a bit of SCW. Watch all the videos, and I highly recommend you get on it. But anyway, also I need to watch SmackDown and AEW. I've got to catch up on stuff. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that the review will be live in just a few moments' time. So stick around so you get involved with that. Thank you very much for coming. It ends West Ham 4-0. What a result. What a day. I'm off to find some food and go to the toilet. What a time to be alive. 4-0. Let's go. See you later, everyone. Come your irons. Love you all. Bye, 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 bye.